What's going on, everybody? I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see me. I know I saw before I went back, I saw Mel was here with the 17-month purple supporter. Thank you so much, Mel. I see you, Obi. We in the building. What is up? Obi, have you been playing Star Fox? I want to know that. What's going on, Crow? How are you? How's it going? Ambi, Rouster, a lot of people today. Daytona, what's going on? I see you. I see you. Wit, uh-oh, I see you. Wit, we got our talk tomorrow. Cold Blood Sensei, welcome, Cold Blood. Let me know if you want to come on the show today. Y'all know I'm going to be talking about some stuff today. It's not me. Is anyone interested in crypto? We are no, Daytona. We're not not interested in crypto today. Uh but I did hear that one of the president's son lost $500 million in a crypto bet. So maybe he might be, because it seems like he's good at losing money. But with that said, um we got I think the title says it all. I forget what I named the title. I was gonna do it like a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, I don't know. It was gonna be a little bit more dramatic. But I decided to keep it. I think, we have big news. If you're on Twitter, you saw that I kind of wrote something. Definitely a tough week for a lot of people. And so we're going to be talking about that here. Also, we're going to talk about a couple of other things that have been going on. Still some fallout on the disc type of stuff, or the no disc potential decision from PlayStation. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, as well as some other gaming news and stuff. But as you know, today's going to be a lot, and I mean a lot of those things where you're like, is Purple talking about gaming or something else? It's going to be a lot of that. So if that's what you're for, like we're gonna have it all. We're gonna have it all. Um, if it's not, uh, you can, like, the beginning probably won't be that, and the end won't probably be that. But we are gonna be talking a lot, a lot, a lot. Nah, I'm good. I just want to know what you mean by bad weak Xbox. Cold blood. You know what we're talking about. You know what we're talking about. All this news has been on my mind for the last 2 weeks. Has it? Has it, Mel? Like, I can imagine. I mean, I'm going to talk about it, right? And this time I'm not going to really sugarcoat. Like, I've been a little bit. I feel bad because we do have some people who really do like that brand. And so I try not to be too critical. Um, and so I don't think I'm gonna take it out like on the brand. If y'all know how I like usually go at the topic, I don't usually go at the brand. So we're gonna be doing that. And then, like I said, we have some other news, like smaller news type of stuff, which it's not necessarily smaller news, but it is like other stuff. Like, we do have some Ubisoft stuff out there, which I thought was like a good news for Ubisoft. We do have a little bit of Nintendo Switch news, that some people are equating to be the same. Um, and then we have some like other smaller, like, other things, as well as Granite sent us an article, so we are going to be hitting on that as well. So yeah, so we've got a lot, and we have some Paralives news. So I went and found the trailer for Paralives because I'm like, what is this game? But we have some Paralives news, so I'm excited. And if you don't know what Paralives is, well, you can wait till the trailer. Um, Yes, have been playing the piss out of it, on Run right now. 206 kills on. Oh my god, Obi, we need to team up. We need to team up. Let me know if you've done. And this is for anybody who's playing Star Fox or who just wants people to play Star Fox. Let me know if anybody wants to team up on doing dogfights. And also this, y'all. I do want to say this about Star Fox. If you have a Switch 2 and you're like, Purple, I don't want to play Star Fox, I totally hear you. But I tested this out with Ambi. When was it? Last week in Ambi? I forget. It's sometime just randomly. I was able to partner. Ambi does not have the game, but he has a Switch too. And what I was able to do is bring Ambi into my chat for Switch, and Ambi was able to play do like the dog fighting, the multiplayer dog fighting. So like they had and it wasn't like they were shooting and I was flying. It was like they had their own jet and I was had my own jet or whatever you want to call it, air wing. And so if you want to test out the game, you're just like, I want to see how it feels. Let me know as well. And we can do like a game chat session just so you can get a feel for it. I can't promise you that you will win because there's some really good people who are playing the multiplayer on that, but it gets you a little bit of that. All this, okay, okay. See, AV's good. You said Fallout. I did. Are we going to talk about the new Fallout 2? We're going to talk about a Fallout, potentially of a Fallout. You see what I did there? Uh, Wait, what brand? Oh, you know the brand. They made 2 billion since becoming president or more, so he'll be fine. Yeah, I don't know. He's made a lot. City is now working on a new Fallout game according. Ooh, are they? That's good. I think that's good. I don't know if that's good. I'm going to tell you why I'm not too sure if that's good. PlayStation don't shoot themselves in the foot, for. I'm gonna be a PC guy. I'm gonna fight games and good. Are you really? We're gonna talk about it because I am. I have um done not don't. Oh, done shot them. So we're gonna talk about it because we did talk about this last time. I do have some articles on PlayStation about some of the Fallout, so we're gonna talk about that a little bit more. Some of the shit show stage Onyx, you called a lot of stuff back then. For thank you so much, Wit. Thank you so much for saying that. It means a lot. um, Jedi, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. I please raise the price, Ron. I don't think they've done. Ron's probably the only one who's upset because they've not raised the price at all. So Ron, I'm sorry. Uh, just make sure you finish your training before running off to save your friends. You can do that. Black Ops 1 and 2 has just released for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Was Black Ops 1 and 2 not on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5? I don't know anything about Call of Duty. Like honestly, people are like Black Ops, Modern Warfare, blah 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 blah. I'm like, aren't you all just shooting things and having toxic online environments? Like I feel like that's all the same, but I guess not. Haven't done the modifier yet, but heck yeah, I'm trying to beat my personal best of whoa, 1452 kills. What are you playing on normal or expert? That's pretty serious. 1452 kills is serious, y'all. Um in protest of all this, I bought a disk drive in Assassin's Creed Black Flag physically today. Ooh, wow. Wow. Well, here's what I am going to say. So let's, because y'all have started off on PlayStation and we kind of ended on PlayStation yesterday. So our last week, so let's start off with Mel in the Discord. I don't know if this is the one, Mel, you sent out, but there is a petition going on to basically for Sony not to kill physical PlayStation game disc. Over 220,000 people have signed it. And this is coming from a researcher. So I don't know, Mel, if this is the one you put out. But this is like, so if you want to, you can go to the Discord. Mel put something out there for a petition. I am not going to say whether or not this is going to have an impact. I honestly don't know this, but there is a petition going around. Now, what I will say on the physical, and obviously some people are doing other things. They're canceling their PlayStation Plus subscriptions to protest Sony killing discs, but analysts say it won't make any difference. And so, what I want to, we didn't really talk through everything on this, and I am curious because we have some PlayStation people here. We have some people who are physical buyers. Last time we didn't really have a lot of physical game buyers. I guess my question is, what would have been the better decision? I think that's the question. Now, I know I when I bought and I will say this, when I bought my PlayStation 5, I bought a digital version. The digital version came with you could buy a disk drive to put it on there, and I did. I bought a disk drive. Um, I don't think that's up here. I think it's downstairs, but I bought a disk drive. I will tell you, I've not used the disk drive, right? Like I've not bought a PlayStation physical game. Am I the reason physical died? Right? Like if no one's using disk, I I question why what I guess is it more nostalgia? Like I guess that's where I'm trying to get at. Where's the protest? Um no grades for $50. Expert was 14. This is my yeah, expert is if you did that on expert, I can see how you got there. Uh wow. Wow, you okay, I see you, Obi, I see you. Let me try to I'll try to beat it. I'll try to beat it. Give me a weekend. I likely won't have an impact, but it's worth trying. I hear you. The Sony CEO sold half of his stock. There is a thing on that. There's a thing on that. The Sony CEO or the PlayStation head of PlayStation sold their half of their stock. I think I still come down to like if there's a market for physical, the market will make its way through. Like I continue to say that. I also feel like is this going to be like a Sony physical? Like let's think about the PlayStation 5, right? PlayStation 5 comes out and you can pay I forget what was it? Like 600 when PlayStation 5 first came out or 500? Then it went to 600 and then they created a digital one only that was 450. Right, and they said, "Okay, like, if you want a disk drive," it was like $75. It was something. It was something, I forget what the price. Knowing that PC gaming's becoming has been more expensive over the last few years, right? And if you're trying to go there, it's gonna be more expensive. Seeing what the, what is that? Steam machine box console thing. If any of y'all got that, let me know. Um, I think Lotus said they were getting it. So I'm curious how it works, but that's like, $1,000, right? Xbox has come out and said their stuff's gonna be $1,000. So are you willing to like spend more for that? Or is it like you want to have the option to have it? Because I can understand having wanting to have the option. I'm not too sure just like spending more for something you don't use. Whole disk drive thing at some point. No worries, Mel. We can definitely do it. I never bought a physical PS game either. Spartan. But Spartan, do you even have PlayStation? Welcome, Spartan. I thought Spartan was an Xbox person. I never used a disk drive on my Xbox either. Yeah, I've used the disk. So I've used the disk drive on one of them. I would tell you, I used it on one of them because I told you I can get games at the library, right? So in order to get the game at the library, it's in a physical format. So I got the game, I brought it here, I put it in, and I want to say it was the Xbox, but I will say it could have been the PlayStation. And then all of a sudden it started making a noise. Like it started making like an actual noise, like I was like scratching the disc or something. It wasn't like a normal disc sound. And so I took it out immediately and I was like, okay, not doing that again. And that was the last time I used it. And I will say Nintendo has what do we call it? The cartridge drive? What do we call it? I don't know what you would call Nintendo's little thing. I have one game in that, and that is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Um, and actually, I bought a couple of disc games. I bought what a Diablo 3 I bought in physical for Nintendo, and I was annoyed. I was annoyed about Diablo 3 in physical, not because it's great. It has all the DLC, it's cool, right? I was annoyed because I had to keep switching because back then I was streaming Mario Kart 8. I was doing my streams and there was 2 streams where I left the Diablo disc or the Diablo cartridge in the Switch and I needed the Mario Kart 8 cartridge. And so I'm like, "Oh, great. I now have to go all the way back upstairs." So my experience with, like, physical media now is is one of annoyance. Not that I don't have an appreciation of the heritage, but it is one of, like, I'm not too sure. It's like you telling me, like, "Purple, we got a new CD." And I'm gonna be like, "I was there when we had CDs." Like, you know what I was there when we had cassettes. I was there when we first got MP3 players. You know what I mean? But maybe I did for the P oh, I knew it's right. I knew it had to be from way back in the day. I knew it had to be way back in the day. I use my disk drive a lot for 360 games. So, okay, so that's retro gaming. I totally hear you on the retro side of things. But if your thing is like I'm using it for Xbox 360, I'm using it for PlayStation 2, I think you're proving the point. Uh that has a disk drive. Don't you rent games from the library, Purple? Maybe only Switch games? I do. I do. Well, I don't know if we call it renting. I would say it's checking out. But I used to. Um, I mean, that's why there is, what's that game? It's on the Switch right now. Oh my goodness, I wanna open it up. There's a game I checked out from the library. I downloaded it on the Switch, and now the icon is there, but I don't have the disc. That annoys me. But yeah, I'm primary digital, but I'm against the killing because it doesn't just affect physical buyers, it affects everyone. I hear so here's my thing, and I gotta get down. I know y'all are down there. Here's my thing about it. If the argument is about PlayStation, we don't like is if the argument's about PlayStation no longer making physical games, that's different than PlayStation no longer offering a physical drive, right? And I've said this before. To me, I don't care about let's use PlayStation. I don't care about a physical copy of Little Nightmare. Let's use Little Nightmares. That's a good one. A physical copy of Little Nightmares from PlayStation. That's just the game, Little Nightmares. I don't care about that. Okay. What I do care about is like the limited run games version of Little Nightmares or the I am 8-bit version of Ori or like one of these other third-party dealers who will make the physical experience worthwhile. And so if the thing is like, hey, they're killing the ability to play physical games on the PS6 or the Xbox, whatever you want to call it. If they're saying you can no longer play a physical game whatsoever by hooking up a drive or doing whatever, I can start to lean with your argument. But if it's just that they're not going to be making physical discs, I'm like, okay, like we weren't buying it anyway. And I think like when I look at this article that's here, right? You can look at the numbers, like it's less than 10% of people are buying physical. It's literally like 7%, which is not nothing, right? I don't want to like it's not nothing. But still it's also not really a lot of something. Um So let's see. Mario Kart Go. No, it's not. Sony wants to monopolize now that there are no competition. Take 100% of the profit instead of sharing, give up, signing petition only language Sony understands is losing money by people not buying. Potentially, but I think you're starting to hit a whole generation of gamers who doesn't even know about physical. Like, I think that's the other thing I'm thinking through is that there is like an entire group of people, unless they're like on Nintendo, who don't even play physical. Like, they're like, "What are you talking about? Where do I put a cartridge into an iPad?" You know what I mean? Like, where do I like there's a whole group of PC gamers, I'm almost positive, that would be totally lost on how to hook up a disk drive to their PC. You know what I mean? Like they would be like, "What? That's where does that go?" You know? Um, don't get me started. There's probably a whole generation of men who would also say that, but for something else. Different story. But yes. Also, you have physical collector's edition that serve an archival function. I agree. I agree. Scratching is what they did in the 80s. Uh, they did. People are purchasing MP3 players, cassette players, and the like again. I look, let them, let them. I saw on the subway where they have that. Um, where's your MP3 store? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. But if there's a market, there's a market. If there's not, there's not. Oh, I guess a lot of Wii games and a few GameCubes. I use iPod to listen to my music. You use the iPod, not like a smartphone. That's impressive. You that's more like my mom's speed there. Digital is more convenient. I left PlayStation for the original Xbox. Um, that's solid, and you've been there since. I hear you on that one, Spartan. Not my main way to listen to my music. Especially okay. I need to catch up with y'all. I used to dance to records as a kid. The music would skip. That's called character. That built character. They're killing the ability on future consoles. Yes. So then I can kind of understand that if they're killing the ability fully, I can understand that to a degree. Um, I still think like I would have to see how it plays out. Like I still think there's I think it sucks, but I also wonder like how much are you willing to spend extra to have it? Like you said yourself, Mel, you're like, I went out and bought a disk drive to protest this. Well, where was your disk drive the last 2 years you had the PlayStation? Like the time to have bought the disk drive and the disk wasn't today, right? Like it's like that's my thing. Like, what? How do you want the more expensive console with the accessory that you did not use, except for the like? I don't even hear people talking about PS4 physical. Most of the time, I hear people talk about physical. They're talking about the PS3, Xbox 360 era on back. So this isn't like a new phenomenon. Like from Lana Del Rey. Of course, you listen to Lana Del Rey. Uh, a lot of breakdowns of people buying digital versions include games that are not available to purchase physically. This is but that's a publisher. That's a publisher thing. There's so much I want to say. Face green smiling. I can imagine when you look at the stats for games that are available, the stats look different. If you have something, let me see it. PC gamers never saw a USB port. I hope that's not what you meant. Um, no, no, no. It's something else. Coldplay, Coldplay, something. Else. Um, I still don't think like, but still, I think if you were to build it into it, like, you could have a disk drive on a USB port, but I still don't think they would use it. You can't fit 200 plus 400 gigs on a disk. That physical is just a key, and you still have to download the game on console just like a PC. This is true. This is true. Um, the generation don't even know what Ethernet is. That's impossible. Maybe, maybe they don't. I bought a disk drive for my Pro on launch. I had a disk drive on my PS5 before. Did you buy games though, Mel? Did you buy games? Let me know if you got that though. On the Nintendo, where did you send it to me, Obi? Did you send it to me in Discord or did you what let me know what you sent. I went fully digital once games stopped having art, manuals, and maps. Now physical collecting is reserved for retro special editions. It's not about the disc, but more of the collectible items. That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. I think that's what physical means to me. And something like so much so, I'm about to show you a physical. I just don't have it right now, right next to me. But I'm going to show you like a physical collector's edition, what that looks like now. I actually have bought the physical version of games that have been delisted from the digital stores. Give me some examples with my PC physical discs are collecting dust. I can't seem to throw them away. I don't know. There's a lot. I love to have option to go to Amazon or some retail stores that have deals on games that PS Store doesn't have. I get what y'all are saying. I get what you're saying. And I think you're making a very strong argument from a retailer standpoint. 100%. You're like, this was a cheaper way to buy games. I totally get it. And so if that's the case, your argument is really around the price of games. It's not necessarily around like having the ability to play a physical game. That's how I see it. I think half the arguments are like, hey, I could get something cheaper over here than over here, right? But when we actually look at like the ability like to kill physical now, that's why I asked Wit to give me some examples of what games were delisted from the store. That's where I want to like test this theory. I'm not saying one way or the other. They should make a Sims like Diablo game called My Diablo, where you feed and take care of your Diablos and Warlocks. Oh my goodness. Isn't that kind of what but we don't feed them. I was like, that's kind of what we do, right? It's kind of what we do. Hey, Chairman, what's going on? I don't think I can explain everything through text. Oh, no, you're texting? Okay, let me know when you get home. Let me know how long you're going to be awake, Mel, because I know you're over there in the UK and I don't want you staying up too late. I know we got a lot of Xbox news to get through. That's why. So we started with PlayStation. And that's why I'm like, we ended with PlayStation last week, but I want to start with it again because there's obviously more to it. Here's some other people writing some stuff. Now Reaver, Crow Reaver, not to be confused with Crow Resin, but Crow Reaver did a whole video about going after PlayStation because they're deleting idle accounts. This is more coming down from like a legal perspective. This is in the EU, but I will say this. This isn't just like PlayStation. This is actually like Gmail will do this to you. Like a lot of email different accounts will do this. There's a lot of other online retail stores that are also going to do this. And what I mean by that is there's a privacy, like how long can they retain your data? So I want to talk about this because I think there is like this thing where people are like, oh, they're deleting our account if we haven't been there for 3 years. This is true. But that's also because they're deleting your information. Because if the account's no longer valid, there's a whole nother side of the argument. If we take games out of the picture, there's a whole nother side of the argument. Let's say you bought something at a store online. How long are they going to continue? Do you want them to continue to email you or to continue to like just blow up your inbox? Like, right? I'm sure we've seen that situation where there's literally tens, if not hundreds of thousands of messages from retailers who you haven't even shopped at, who are just flooding your inbox, or politicians or something of this nature. And so the way you do that is you're saying, hey, there's a privacy policy of how long you can actually still engage with a customer or consumer or stakeholder, and they haven't engaged with you back. So that is like what's kind of going on that side of things. All right. I think y'all came at me. You're at home. I mean, through text on chat. Okay. Okay. I see you, Mel. My PS5 Pro will do till I see results from Sony having more money to do projects now that they kill money sink, like they say. So Cold Blood, I see what you're saying. So you're saying you're good. I've always said, I think the PlayStation 5, if you have it, you're going to have some runway on that, especially if you have a PlayStation 5 Pro. just because of how the AI chips in that. And what I mean by AI chips in that, I just really mean like the new chips where um, they are constantly tweaking it to where it can do basically it can upscale in a way that prior chips couldn't. And so I think that is going to create longevity in the hardware. Activision Spider-Man games also interesting. Okay, okay. So we have Spartan coming through. Hey, Rebecca, we are going to be talking about Paralives later. Examples of delisted games that I own physically: Driver San Francisco, Grid 2, Grid. So we talked about the Grid series, right? Dirt, Blur, Dirt Show, Project Cars, a lot of racing ones. A lot of racing ones. So, but we did talk about the Grid ones. I'm amazed at how many racing games you have. Daytona, sharing physical copy is a nice feature. It is, but so here's the question on that as well. Like, so Nintendo, right? We've talked about this where they allow you to lend a digital game. Does that still not count? PlayStation has been hacked so many times. I'm happy they are deleting my information. There you go, Crow. Crow not wanting their information out there. I also digitally own a lot of delisted games. So you own a lot. I prefer physical copies because can keep running out of space for digital games. But physical games also take up space. Not as much, but they do take up space. But I hear you on this one. What physical games do you have, Rebecca? Who remembers the Lizard Squad Christmas hacking that happened on PS4 during the year it launched? No idea what you're talking about, but I'm looking forward to someone saying they do. So yeah, so like I think there's like obviously Mel is over there right now in the UK fuming, waiting for me to drop a link. We're gonna get to it. So if it is something, let me get through my Xbox one, and then I'll bring you in on. Then we'll open the lines because it seems like this one's still a heated topic for many. So I'm interested to hear it. Again, I think there's reason I don't like it, but there's also reasons where I understand it. So, with that said, this was a tough week in gaming. I'm not gonna like. There's some people. Cowboy, y'all know Cowboy, and your mama knows. He's someone who doesn't. A lot of times he'll be like, "Hey, I'm not gonna worry about like people getting laid off. I've been laid off, therefore, uh, he kind of takes this kind of indifference approach to it. For me, I don't take that. I'm like, when people get laid off, um, because I've been laid off, right? I've been laid off of roles where I really put a lot into it and it sucks. You know what I mean? So earlier this week, and there was rumors that was going to happen. Um, Xbox has announced that from basically throughout fiscal year 2027, which started July 1st for them and runs all the way till June 30th, 2027. So over the next roughly 365 days, they're going to be cutting 3,200 jobs from there. They've already cut 2,000. I think it was 2,200 as of this week. Over the next week, they're going to be cutting another 1,000. And that is what they are saying right now. With this cutting, several studios have been shut down, several projects have been canceled, entire timelines have shifted. Again, I think it sucks. Sure. What do you mean, Mel? It's an infamous meme. The Google Lizard Squad hacked PlayStation Network during the Christmas that the PS4 came out. PlayStation Network wasn't working for days. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. They disappointed me with every release so far, and the biggest sin done was Xenoblade 10 upgrade. Oh, I love the Cold Blood. I love Switch 2. I love Switch 2. I love it. But I hear you. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. I have faith in Asia to get Xbox back on track. Spartan, I wish I had your faith. Spartan, I wish you had your faith. So here's what no worries, Roster. Here's what I'm going to say about this one. Here's what I'm going to say about this one. Um, I've talked a lot about Xbox probably over the last 3.5 years. It's probably been about 3.5 years where I really kind of talked about their business, talked about things like even back in even with Stadia, it was never really about Xbox. It was more about Game Pass or about XCloud, comparing it to Stadia and blah blah blah, right? But if y'all notice, like January 2023, my first video, not my live stream, my first video, I talked about the ABK deal, and then throughout, I've talked about ABK, I've talked about Nintendo strategy, PlayStation strategy, Xbox strategy. I talked about Little Nightmares. I talked about a lot of stuff, right? But one of my central things when it comes to Xbox has always been not so much Xbox, but around Microsoft, right? I've made this argument many, many times before. Xbox's biggest issue isn't Xbox per se. Don't get me wrong, they have made some missteps, but it's that they are under Microsoft. And this is what some people would say was probably wrong with Google Stadia. It was under Google. But for Microsoft, it's a different problem. And for Microsoft, the problem has to do with Microsoft makes so much money doing other things. It's just the truth. Not only that, but I feel like Xbox has been put in a situation in which it's almost like a lose, lose, lose situation. And what I mean by this is in order to make Xbox survive, and y'all will remember this, in 2014, we know this because it came out with the Phil Spencer documentary that was released like 3 years ago, 4 years ago now. They talked about how in 2014 they were going to kill the Xbox. Then somehow Satya Nadella came around and Phil Spencer came around and all these other people who are execs who I don't know why we know their names, but they came around and they saved Xbox. But they didn't save Xbox because if it was like its gaming console type of thing, right? Like it was never about that. They saved it because at this time, what was really taking off was subscription services. You know, basically software as a service. That Microsoft, that's how they started doing really well with Microsoft Office. Like, yes, if y'all did not know at one time, you bought your computer, like your Dell PC or whatever, and it came with like one disk and you had the whole suite of Office, and that was it. Somewhere around like 15, 16 years ago, Microsoft, in their infinite wisdom, was like, you know what? Let's charge you a subscription for that. This did wonders for Microsoft and their profitability. They started charging a subscription, not just for that, they started charging licensing fees to businesses and everything else. Hence, once they did that, Xbox had to start to fall in line similarly. So how do you do this? Well, you start to expand your subscription service that you already had, right? And so that's where we start to go from the Xbox Live to this Game Pass. Not only do they go into Game Pass, but they put a ton of money into Game Pass. Because if you're going to have a subscription service in games, well, you might as well have a subscription service that looks like the number one subscription service for media, which was Netflix at the time. And so that's why we started hearing all of a sudden Game Pass was going to be the Netflix of gaming. Not me talking. This is literally what they said. You can go look it up. Phil Spencer, Netflix game of gaming, right? That's what he did. But in order to do that, right? In order to do that model, you can do it one of two different ways. Either you have to have a ton of talent pushing out a ton of like random shows like Netflix. Like if you notice, Netflix can make it happen because they have like a lot of shovelware of TV shows, right? They have a lot of like, oh, let's make a documentary and put like some really ominous music around it and do some interesting camera angles. Boom, TV show. Or let's put like some chicks who put way too much makeup on and don't eat selling houses. Boom, TV show, right? That's how Netflix can do it. But in video games, it's a little bit more different, right? Video games takes a lot longer to produce. Also on that, video games have to be fully immersive. Like I could turn on Netflix shovelware and guess what? Like I could be doing like 3 other things with that still there and I still understand what happened on the show, right? The person, because I love detective shows, it's usually always like the person who seems innocent, but somehow still really interested in the case, they did something. Okay. That person did something. And it's never the first person that they introduce. It's always like the third person. It's a formula, right? But in order to do that, you can do it 2 different ways. You can organically build your studios, but that takes a long time. Or you can just go out and buy studios. And so buying studios is what Xbox did. And not only did they buy a little bit, they bought a lot of it. Hence we get Bethesda, bought. Big one was ABK, bought. Then we have all the little other ones, bought. All together, $80 billion was spent on making Game Pass a thing. I want you to sit with that. $80 billion. That's before inflation. This is like $2 trillion now. No, I'm joking. It's probably like closer to like, I don't know, 90 billion, but it's still a lot. And if you actually go back, I talked about Game Pass. Go look at the videos. I talked about Why couldn't it work? We knew it wasn't going to work. But here's the thing. Microsoft, not Xbox, Microsoft is caught in something called an economic death loop. You can go look this up. I'm not making this term up. This is how y'all want to know how I understood this was going to happen. It had nothing to do with like some crystal ball or hate or anything. Like I give you like my actual frameworks that I work with, right? I understood that if you're spending $80 billion, in order for that math to work, in order for an $80 billion investment to work, you essentially have to make $200 billion over 10 years, $200 billion profit over 10 years. How am I getting that number? It's simple. If you invest $80 today into something, what are you hoping your investment is in a few years in order for that to pay off? If you just do a simple rate of return of 8%, which is what the market is, that's 8.2%, basically means you're going to need something closer to like 120 to 130% return in 10 years. I knew this couldn't happen. Somewhere, some way, the numbers weren't going to work. And if you're taking score, and if you've seen a lot of money also going towards a certain technology that rhymes with AI, you kind of can see where that's going to go too. So when I saw that they were spending so much money, I just knew it was a matter of time. I actually called this back in January. I said, this July, I said at the end of June, it ended up being a week off. I said, this was going to be the time they were going to start writing all this stuff off. How did I know that? Simple. Usually strategies are done in 3 years. Now I'm telling you like corporate stuff. Now I'm telling you like as someone who built strategies, how this works. 3 years. That 80 billion had 3 years to pan out. If we go 3 years back, What happened? So an ABK was signed. And so once that happened, and once we saw the gaming market, all the gaming in the world, mobile, physical, PC, VR, all of it, all the gaming in the world was only growing at a rate of like, depending on where you were, 1 to 2% a year. This 80 billion was never going to work out. Do we got Suave in the house? Hey, Climate Suave, I want to play World War Z with you. I bought World War Z. And so now, the Speed Racer Bach. To be fair, Activision was 68.7 billion of that 80. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Crow's keeping track. Crow's keeping track. But now you're in this situation. So what happens is what businesses do when they mess up, they write it off, right? And in order to write it off, what does that mean? That means that, okay, we spent 10 billion on this. Therefore, if we write off 10 billion, we can then not have to pay taxes on $10 billion somewhere else in our company. What they do. It's what they do. And so you're in a situation where now, guess what? All that stuff that you spent that money on, those people are out of a job. And some people would say, like, well, you know, Laura Fryer, if you haven't seen her, she's like a woman exec who used to be at Microsoft Xbox. And she kind of did this video and she's like, oh, well, the gaming companies were spending all frivolously and they weren't doing anything and they weren't running good businesses. Well, I'm not going to fully disagree with that. What I am going to say is when you get bought out, I don't care what startup you are, when you get bought out, the whole point of you getting bought out is because you've now cashed in on your product and it's Microsoft's issue. But there's no math. There's no like, let's work on a budget that's going to get around this math. None. It just isn't. Gaming is not growing that much. So this now takes us back to the physical conversation. What do you do? Do you cut cost? What type of cost do you cut? And this is where I look at PlayStation. I'm like, PlayStation's cutting essentially a variable cost, which is physical. That's how they're dealing with it. Microsoft is doing something that I think is going to be detrimental. So this is Spartan's girl. You know, she laid out that gaming strategy failed to work out. So she's ushering in a new strategy. But I'm telling you what she's ushering in is actually going to speed up whatever is going on with Xbox, which if you ask me is ultimately going to be a spin out. I said probably by 2030, Xbox will be spun out from Microsoft. I've said this. I'm going to continue to say this. And the reason I say this is because she's falling into the same trap Xbox fell into not too long ago. And I don't mean like last year. But she's falling into the trap of if you keep cutting the things that actually make you different, how are you expected to grow? Right? So what's happened here is Microsoft's put a lot of money into this. Didn't work out. Let me put this. Microsoft's put a lot of money. Doesn't work out. I think we can see that. Then what happens? They then cut and they go in the opposite direction. And the opposite direction is you cut all the way past the bone, right? Now, how are you going to make this happen? How are you going to make the games? Like you've already a lot of the franchises you were going to launch, you're no longer launching, right? We just heard, I think there's something in here that Avowed is no longer going to be Avowed 2 is not going to be made. We already heard about Contraband. We heard about several other games not going to be made. So now you have to do everything basically off of Call of Duty, massive, King, solid, Diablo, solid, World of Warcraft, depends on what site, what season and whatnot that's going on. I don't even think like they've cultivated enough of a fan base for Halo to really move it. If you ask me, they've limited everything to for growth. You're asking for franchises that are extremely mature to now somehow produce growth with a player base that is aging. You're not going to grow. So what she's going to end up having to do is she's going to end up having to continue to cut costs and find operational efficiencies. Right? But because she's already cut so much, and this is the death loop, because she's already cut so much, where does again, what's driving it? Can she raise the prices? I don't, there's questions on this. Let's see if I have it. Let's see if I have it. This article would say Game Pass reportedly lost subscribers due to the price hike. We're going to talk about EA here, Rebellica. We're going to talk about it. Where does she have any? Like, I don't go off of hope. I go off of just raw, cold numbers. Because I know that's how the people, when you put her in charge, like everybody was like, look, I'm sure Aisha Sharma, I'm sure she's really wonderful. But the reason you put someone like Aisha in charge is because Aisha is going to do exactly what you tell her to do. That's where we are. We're not getting Aisha Sharma because she's some whiz person who's like turnaround genius. Aisha Sharma is going to do exactly what you tell her to do. Because Aisha Sharma realizes to be in the class she is being forged to be, the CEO class, she has to do these things and not even blink. That's her. She's just like a smiley face to tell y'all, like, to tell us like, oh, the house isn't on fire. Meanwhile, the house is burnt. So they're not going to grow. They're going to have to continue to cut. They're going to continue to then put out weaker products because that's what's going to happen. We talked about like, hey, someone mentioned here, I forget the studio, but some other studio is going to pick out Fallout, which again, if I've talked about this before, I'm always worried when a new studio picks up an old franchise. And the reason why I'm worried about that is because it's a different team. Like the thing that makes games so unique is it the IP or is it the initial magic that happened? And I think we would mostly say there's many examples where the initial game, that initial team, that initial vision is what actually took it to where it had to go. But in a world where you're cutting all your experience. Here's a 37-year Xbox exec, 37-year veteran. You're cutting all your experience because that's a way to save money, right? You cut one purple, you can get 2 mini purples. That's how the math works. There's a point to where you cut everything that made you great. United States under 47. Let's go. But that's the math. That's how I always can call what Microsoft's gonna do just because I know how big systems and organizations work. So, do I have my hope is not in, like, I think they're gonna turn it around. It's not. My hope is that it's a long-term play, that eventually they get sold off. They still have some assets that work. So if you don't know, like, that's why they're trimming all the fat. They're trimming all the fat so they can write off the fat so they don't have to pay taxes on income that they're making now. And so what they then have is this lean, mean machine that can generate money. And then they're going to sell that at a multiple worth more than the money it's generating to some probably douche of a billionaire. Look no further than like the Warner Brothers Discovery deal for $110 billion, right? Or like some dude named Elon Musk with $1 trillion who's like has the pride in the money to overspend on something like Xbox, right? $45 billion on Twitter. Like, this is the math they're doing. They're going to trim it down until it's at its bare bones minimum. It's going to be like some ABK, some Bethesda stuff, and some IP, just the titles. And then they're going to sell it. And then they're going to sell it for something that's closer to, like I said, if it's generating $10 billion, they're going to sell it at something like, I don't know, a 15, 20 multiple and get $200 billion. It's the math. This is what companies do. This is what private equity does. That's what she's here for. If you want to know who Aisha Sharma is, I'm going to tell you, this is the cheat code. She was brought in as like when a private equity firm brings in their CEO. I haven't even done it before, but just type it into like whatever. Go have a fun conversation with your favorite AI chatbot on that. I just gave you the answer. I gave you the answer because that is the most profitable thing for them to do. Most profitable thing for them to do. Always, always, Rouster. Always. This is the plan. They're no longer people. They're no longer working for you. They're no like let me make sense. They never were working for you, right? But they now have realized the money is with this other class of like people where they can make way more than they were making with you, and they don't even have to deal with the headache that was you. If you think just hold it like, I don't know, mark this one, what is it? Shades of Purple episode 194? When they sell off Xbox, you can come back to this one and you can be like, holy crap, that chick, she just played the entire thing. I may have even identified the buyer. So I'm not like, that's why, like, when people like this gold dude, y'all know him, Grandpa, what do they call him? Grandpa Bernie? Not trying to endorse a political side here, but I do think he has something right now, which is it never trickles down. This is exactly right. If you don't know what trickle down economics is, if you were born in the 70s or the 80s, this is all you heard about this theory in school. You don't hear about it anymore because it doesn't work. It was never about that. It was never about people making more money. Companies are making the most money they've ever made, and they're laying off more people than they've ever laid off. Look no further than Xbox, the richest gaming company in the world. Let me say that right now because their parent company is one of the richest companies in the world. So you would think like if there was any company that could maybe help out the little guy, it would be the one who had the most money. Wrong. The bigger they are, the more they're going to give it to you. I don't know. I don't think there's one thing I missed on on Microsoft Xbox. I don't think like it's like I said in the Twitter. It's not to say I told you so because people lost their job. So I definitely like think that's first and foremost. But it's also like scrutinize these things. Scrutinize these like when you see big people claiming that they're trying to help you, don't. We have people right now who are like, "Hey everybody, we're going to have a whole bunch of like AI and data centers. So go do these jobs. Don't go over here. Go do these jobs because that's where the future of jobs are going to be." Don't listen. Don't listen. Or, "Hey everybody, this technology is going to be so amazing that you're not going to have to work anymore. You're going to have a universal income." You know what? I think this is the most ridiculous thing in the world. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to look it up because it's going to impact you. How is it that the people who've been complaining so much about welfare are now telling me that universal incomes are great? Look, when you've been around a second, like these aren't I don't look at these people like they're amazing because I think all these people are just ridiculous. No one could afford to buy an Xbox, but Sony can't be bought. No one could afford. What do you mean, Spartan? No one can afford to buy an Xbox, but Sony can be bought. The thing about Sony, and I'm going to tell you why Sony. I did an episode about a year ago. I did a live stream about a year ago. Um, learn a trade. Learn a good trade. That's all I will say. Learn a good trade. What I will say is this. The thing that is going to protect Sony is that it's a Japanese company. Japanese companies are very protectionist, right? And I've said this before, like they invest in each other. They have like these weird, like they hold a lot of cash. They don't really like right now the government is making laws to where the companies have to distribute their cash. But the reason why they do that is because they don't have the like Japan has this inverted triangle of a population, right? There's more older people than younger people. That's why Japan has like this large like imported workforce. And what they're looking at is like the sustainability of their country, right? They don't look at like, hey, and part of that has to do with because they have like the most people who live past 100 years old. It's like if you retire at like 65, there's a good chance you still have to live for like 30 or 40 years in Japan. And so like because of that, they need a sustainable economy. Sustainable economy means like you may forego some profits today to ensure you have profits tomorrow. It's not how we think here. The United States isn't built like that. They don't even think about next year. They think about next quarter. It's always about that. It's I need to show growth at all costs. This is what Xbox ran into. They could not show at growth. They couldn't show the growth that they needed to. Those numbers when Xbox would show like, hey, we grew up 1% a year. When you show that and the rest of your company is growing at 30 to 40%, yes, you're going to switch strategy in Asia because like the people at Microsoft have done the exact same math I've done. They're not going to take a gamble in the entertainment industry to say like, oh yeah, like maybe we can like double profitability in 5 years if we do X. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to say, we're going to cut things. This thing's going to stay afloat for a little while. And eventually we're going to sell this for like XYZ amount of money. It's like if you owned a home and the home is just leaky, it has a broken roof, but you have people who are willing to rent that home. What you're going to do is you're going to eventually fix up the bare minimum that you can, and you realize that that home sits on some pretty nice property, you're going to sell it, and then you're going to invest it in something else. What you do? Nintendo is a really old company. They were founded in the 1860s, I believe. I thought it was 1890s. I thought it was the 1890s. But Nintendo, yeah, Nintendo's weathered a lot. But that's not just Nintendo. That's like Toyota. That's like all like those Japanese companies. They're very protectionist. And so they're not going to sell just to sell, because if they're going to sell, it's going to hurt. Like, it's their society. It's not just like here. Like, we can be like, oh, 3,200 people, let's lay them off. Like, Japan lays off 3,200 people because of a business decision. Someone's going to jail. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't believe me, like, go look up Toyota when they had that braking issue. They were putting people on trial. Like, that's how, like, in the United States, we don't do that. United States, we actually incentivize you taking a gamble with other people's money, by the way, and other people's livelihoods. And then if it doesn't work out, we're like, oh, well, you learn. Now you can be like an even bigger CEO. That's what happens. There's a point to where you fail up here. Other places there aren't, because they just can't afford it. Oh, I was off by a year. I think Nintendo started with card games. They did. They did. They've had to evolve. But a lot of those did. A lot of those companies started off as something else. Hi, Sourbelow. What's going on? What's going on, Sourbelow? So that's my thing. That's my thing. Like I said, I'm not trying to go after Xbox, not trying to go after the brand, not trying to go after your memories, not trying to go after your glory days, not doing any of that. Going after the parent company, because that's what's happened. Hanafudu cards. I wonder how much those are worth nowadays. But if you want to test it, go test my theory. Go, like I said, I've not missed it. I've not missed Microsoft yet. I've not missed it yet. Just got home from travel ball. Baseball? I learned that playing Clubhouse games in the DS and Switch, exhausted. Oh my goodness, I would imagine you're exhausted. I would imagine you're exhausted. Said killing stuff, avowed, sequel is killed. I think we talked about this. It's bad. It's just we talked. Staff at Fallout New Vegas developer Obsidian reported left unsure how a huge list of projects can continue after Xbox layoffs. There's a lot of unknowns there, and there's going to be more unknowns. The reason there's going to be more unknowns is because the strategy I just told. I just told y'all the strategy. I literally have just told you the strategy. A lot of other countries protect their workers much better. Yes, because a lot of other countries have histories of where the workers eventually rebel against the ruling class, and then they kill people. That is a true story. I am not making that story up. If y'all want to do a really cool history lesson, look up the reign, like REIGN, of terror. Okay? Reign of terror. I will give you a hint. It takes place in France. I will give you another hint. If you ever heard the name Marie Antoinette, you are in the right place. And if you ever heard of the name Napoleon Bonaparte afterwards, You're in the right time zone. You're right, you're in the right place. But go look that up because that is probably one of, like, the more famous instances of this occurring, but there's more. Like, a lot of the actual, uh, civil wars or massacres that happen in history are framed as civil wars and massacres and revolutions. What they actually are is it's when what we would call the working people or the people who worked in the fields, when they go and kill the ruling class. That's they don't wanna teach it like that, but that's kinda what it is. You know, like, they eventually get kinda pissed off, and they're like, "We're gonna kill you." You know, "We think you're worth more dead than alive." Reminds me of Bastille Day is on the 14th of July. Go get your french fries and, uh, what do you call it? What is the dish? It's fries and what are the black shell things you eat? I forget. The French I always eat it on Bastille Day. In Korea, the 1780s storming of the Bastille, a pivotal event in the French Revolution that symbolized the end of the absolute monarchy. I don't know. I don't know. Like, if you want to have fun, I mean, maybe we should have a shooting game like that. Maybe that'll be the DLC pack to Billionaires Must Die. Um, like Billionaires Must Die, but going back in time. Um, Man, I still think that would be a great day. Like The Purge. The Purge is where I thought that's where people get angry and take out their anger on other people. Some of you are like, "Purple, how did we get here? You're talking about Xbox." If you don't know how we got here because we're talking about Xbox, that's the point. That's the point because you don't understand how we can get there when we're just talking about video games. But let me make it clear. It's all the same pattern. It's all the same people doing the same thing. They just dress it up nicely. They just dress it up nicely. That's crazy. Is it Suave? Is it Dr. Suave? If y'all did not know, Suave has a PhD in psychology down in Texas. And look at this. Things are going all Nintendo will stop selling the original Switch in Europe next year. What's coming to this world? What's coming to this world? Look at this as well. Switch 2 hardware. It's becoming heavier. It's just everything's going bad. And speaking of the French, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is the highest rated game in the series since the original Black Flag. Now, to make it very clear, I don't think Ubisoft French teams built this, but it's Ubisoft. Ubisoft's taking a hit. So when you take a hit, make a remake. If y'all are playing this game, let me know. Let me know if y'all are playing this game. And if you want to know, well, Purple, we don't know what the game looks like. I got you covered. I got you covered. So here we are. I keep repeating the same thing sometimes, but here we are. No PhD in public politics. What other politics are there? Like, could you get a PhD in private politics? Like, I feel like they just made what is this? It's like I made a PhD in like government politics. Like, oh, really? Well, that's an interesting one. All right, here we are. Here we are. Here's the trailer. I thought here's the trailer. So that was the Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I saw you there, Spartan. You bought it in the bundle, Xbox One bundle. That's super cool. I've never played it. I've never played it. I'm playing Assassin's Creed 3. Oh no, I'm going to probably start it over because I don't know where I'm in the game. But yeah, I like the song too. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I'm gonna probably get a copyright strike for this song, but I like it, or maybe I'm not. Because, like, I was making fun of Netflix earlier, and Netflix has, like they have, like, these, like, bebop songs. I don't know if y'all watch Netflix, like, their reality TV series, and they'll have, like, this catchy tune, but the catchy tune is really just built for, like, that one scene in the show. So it'll be, like, this scene with, like, these women talking at a table, and they're, like, drinking and they're laughing. And then it'll have, like, this beepy, like, song scene, and it's like, "Sitting at the table with my friends, drinking a drink, sitting at the" and it's like, the song just talks about the scene in the reality show, and so I'm wondering if video games are doing that now, or, like, was that a real song? Or was that, like, a song made for the thing, the trailer? I don't know. I don't know. I like 6 Hours too. It's just like how I remembered it. I love it. Mel's like, "I love it." Crow's like, "I'm not buying something I already paid for." I love it, Crow. Keeping to your principles. You don't care about upgrades or anything. You're like, "Looks the same to me." Um, with that said, I did wanted to show y'all because I said I was gonna show you all this. It's a box. If you can't see, it's a box. And what's in this box, because I don't think I've ever showed it to you, it is another box. But I'm going to show you like what it is. And it is essentially, I don't know if y'all can see it, it is the Little Nightmares Collector's Edition. When it came out, Little Nightmares 3 Collector's Edition. And it came up with like all these little like cool little things, like comes with the game with this little thing on it. And as you can see, it's like a physical game. Like the actual game is in here somewhere, but I didn't buy it. Like I bought the game digitally. That's how I actually played it. This one comes with like all the DLC and everything, but like this is the stuff I like. This is what I spend money on when I say physical. So I do buy physical. Comes with like a little music box. It's like actually kind of cool. Came with like a little controller gnome thing. Like a little gnome you put your controller on. And so like that's what I say. Like I think like I like this is how I support physical. Like this is what like give me toys. Give me toys. Is it an Xbox? Is it? I think they killed that one. I think they killed that one. Unboxing, it wasn't unboxing. I don't think I ever showed y'all that. But yeah, so that's what it was. I actually didn't know it came with the game. I didn't realize until I opened it and said switch to until like right now. I was like, oh, that's the game. But that's what I do for the series I have. And I think like that's how I support the franchises. A pizza. Kinda. W Crow. You're doing Crow's not buying it. Is this how not to do an unboxing live stream? I think that is. I don't have my camera. I don't have like a fancy thing. I told you I'm not downstairs. Like downstairs, I could have probably done something really fancy, but here it's just the MacBook, and so yeah, I don't have the thing. But that's it. Maybe y'all want to. I think I have another one. I think because usually I buy two, right? Like I think I showed y'all this one last time. I think I like this. Oh my goodness, I can't. You can't see it here, but maybe you can see it through the wrapping. Maybe not. It is, maybe there you go. This is the South of Midnight physical collectors thing. So, yeah, that's how I do it. How I do it. So maybe that's why, because like I'm a collector who doesn't need the like I don't even open the physical thing, the physical game. Maybe that's why I don't really I don't put a lot of stock into it. But but Mel, if you're here, if y'all we got Mel and Sour Blow if you want to come on later, because I know sometimes you come on and Suave if you let me know. Some of y'all haven't been here a while. I know Cold Blood was around earlier. If y'all want to come on, let me know. I am going to drop a link for y'all to come on, and if we have a lot, we'll have to go through. But I know there was a lot of topics today, and I will do another. We got a couple of things, so let me drop the link. I'm going to talk about a couple of other games here. Sorry, no, I'm going to talk about 2 games here. We showed you Black Flag. I do want to get to my Paralives stuff, so that we did say we were going to talk about Paralives. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Here we go. Sims' biggest competitor is ignoring all the AAA rules of game dev, and that's why it's already a huge success. So this is Paralives. If you're like me, you had no idea what it was. But if you're like Rebellica, you know exactly what it was. So for everybody who wants to know what the Sims competitor is, it's Paralives, and we are going to show it right now. Right.
Sais-tu?
Miko.
Peki no.
That is Paralives. It's not in physical. It's not in physical. So no, I'm joking. I'm not joking, but it's not. I was just going with the thing. Not a Sims killer, at least not yet. Still in very early access. So it is in early access. There you go. Rebecca is saying, but she's saying a lot of people like it. A lot of people like it. I do like how they kind of change things up a little bit. Change things up. I guess this is show and tell day today because I don't know if I ever showed y'all. I have. So this is a game that I don't think comes in physical. It's Orcs Must Die. So some of y'all may be thinking, purple, how do you have something that's physical for Orcs Must Die? I know. You're like, you're asking you're asking the right questions. So all the way from Orkland, we have a little orc from Orcs Must Die. So this guy came, I forget who, I think it was Rouster or someone sent me like a link one time. And they had this little guy from the game. And so I thought it was kind of cool. You got the little robot entertainment thing back here for Orcs Must Die. So I don't know. Like you gotta give me stuff like this. If you want me to buy physical, you gotta give me stuff like this. Um, yes, that's me. Sims is like the toxic ex you've had for so many. Ooh, this sounds deep. Mel, do we need to talk about this? Do we need to talk? Like, I don't know if I can date this. That when Paralyzed goes along, you realize that so much of it really is the bare minimum. You should have had it to begin with. Wow. Wow. Mel, do we need to talk about something? Do you need a hug? Because I feel like there was a lot in that. If you think you're talking about Sims and Paralyzed, you're right. If you think he's talking about something else, you're also right. Yeah, after seeing this, I get reminded this summer is just cooked for games. Cold Blood, wait. What Cold Blood, what are you expecting? Cold Blood, put into chat what you want from a game. This looks cute. It was cute. Orcs, I like it. I like it. But I'm curious because Cold Blood's an old time gamer. He's from like the old dirty blasters from the Stadia community. And so I'm curious, like Division, because he's got to be a Division guy, right? He's a Division guy. Build an orc, build one, like a Lego set. I don't do Legos though. I really don't. I think they're full of germs. I don't know. For me, like when I look at Legos, I'm just like I don't know if it's just because I never got into them. I don't know if it's because the commercials never appealed to me back in like the 80s. I don't know what it is. But I look at Legos and I'm just like, no. No, like there's nothing good that comes from it. Like nothing. Doesn't need to kill Sims. EA is doing a good enough. Ooh, she's not holding back. She's not holding back today. If y'all want to know how she really feels about EA, Rebellica's going in. Guys can there you go. Let me do this. Let me do this. There you go, Mel. There you go. I know she really went in, Daytona. What I expect, Dan, give me something like Phantom Blade Zero right now, and I would be happy. That's coming out in the fall. It's coming out in the fall. Chill. Like you know, like wait a little bit. It is coming in the fall. What else do you have in the fall? You have another game I'm really looking forward to. Aminushu. I'm looking forward to Aminushu. That one. There's a couple of them. I'm looking forward to Ocarina of Time remake, Star Fox. Like I'm having a blast with Star Fox. I have some Reanimal DLC. Now, who played? Oh, we got Mel. Oh, Mel came super quick. He's coming hot all the way from the UK. No, then Varian, aka Mel, aka Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly. How are you doing, Purple?
Doing all right.
Thanks for having me.
No,
yeah, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to the physical and killing of it.
Okay, let's go. Are you getting second? Are you getting feedback?
No.
All right. That might be. No big deal. If
Sounds
Chad
good?
doesn't get it, we're good.
Oh, okay. Okay,
for it,
anyway. So, the problem really is, okay, well, before that, I should preface this by saying I'm primarily a digital user. I have been for years, right? And the primary reason why I was digital, especially on PlayStation, was because it meant that I got to share games with my brother, right? Because he, at the time, for so many years, when I made the switch over, he was studying med school in Poland, right? So that meant he didn't have to come all the way, fly over, take a game with him, and I have to wait several months for him to come back with, like, I don't know, Witcher or something, right? This just made it easier. We can play it whenever, right? So that's cool. The problem is, though, it all comes down to choice, right? Even though most people are digital, and most of the sales are digital. Which, by the way, I think it's important to not forget the fact that a lot of that statistic that they pulled out, where it's like 85%, it also includes the sales of DLCs and other add-ons and stuff. It's not just games. That's an important thing to think
Mel,
about.
your audio's coming in a little bit.
Is it too loud?
I think you're getting like a double.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wait.
He's in a tornado, y'all.
Yeah, it's. Oh, my bad. I have 2 fans. It's hot here.
Oh. We lost him, y'all. The tornado got him. The tornado got him, y'all. But so if Mel, you there? Mel, you there?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, there you go. Oh,
okay. Yeah, I have 2 cameras. Anyway. Okay, so everything sounds fine now?
Yeah, everything sounds fine.
Okay. I don't know how much of that you got or not.
No, I got it. I think we got it, but I think the sound's good now.
Awesome. Yeah. So where was I? Right.
85% DLC.
Yeah, that. And so when we are looking at, physical, and the reason why I even bought this, right? Like I told you that I got a disc drive and I bought this as well, right? I got the physical edition of this. It comes with a cool little map inside and an art book that you wouldn't get otherwise if you bought it digitally, obviously, right? It also comes with the digital perks as well, just for pre-ordering it, basically, at no extra cost. Now, I wouldn't get a choice like that if I was locked in to digital only, right? And that means that if you start to only go digital, especially when it comes to PlayStation, you have one choice to only buy from their storefront and their storefront alone, right? Because you can't go to Amazon where it might be cheaper. You can't go to Walmart, or in my case, I wouldn't be, if we don't have a disc drive, or if I don't have the ability to print they don't print new discs, right? I won't be able to, years time, go and pick up a game from Asda. That's our Walmart over here. I wouldn't have been able to do that with Monster Hunter Wilds, which I just did a few weeks back when I got it for my Xbox, right? I got it for £7. Otherwise, I would have had to pay triple the price when it was on sale on the Xbox store, right? So, you have all these different choices, and if you're limiting that, it essentially becomes super anti-consumer, and it just monopolizes on one storefront. And to add to that, when you are like, yes, in certain cases, yes, you do have to have the internet to install the rest of the game. I believe it's a one-time thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there are other games that you are just able to do and play normally, naturally, and you own them, right? You own the license to play those games. I mean, when you have the disc is the license, it's the key. But the other things, you're just paying for the license, so they can remove it really at any point. You can delete entire storefronts. The PS3 and the Vita are getting deleted. They're shutting down. And recently, just days before they announced this, they announced that they were going to delist about 600 plus movies, Blu-rays, that people had purchased from their libraries, just completely gone from their libraries. So yeah, this is a much more pressing issue than it is. And then furthermore, now they're removing the ability to even buy. They're just going to go fully digital from now on, from PS6 onward. Same thing with Xbox. They're going to do the same thing. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I totally hear it. Like, look, anytime choice gets taken away, and that's why I wanted people to hear the thing. Like, I'm not that type of consumer, right? To go for physical. And so I think you're making solid points. Making solid points. And again, if you'll want to go sign the petition, it's in the Discord, either Ambi or Rouser. I think y'all know where it is. If y'all want to post it in the chat, so anybody who wants to sign the petition to keep physical alive, we're gonna have it. So I hear what you're saying. I think the question I continue to ask. And it's where Cold Blood, I think, was leaning towards earlier, which is okay, if this is a money saving move, right? I think we could see where it is a I could see where it's a money saving move. Like how long do you hold on to something that isn't that?
But what do you mean, like in terms of physical? How long do you hold on to physical?
Yeah.
Well, ideally for as long as it's around. I mean, I don't see why you need to kill it. If you can continue production of it. I mean, the only reason they aren't is because they want to save, but it's not like it's a ton of money. It doesn't cost a whole lot to print. At the end of the day, it becomes more about greed and less consumer rights. It's more
Yeah.
anti-consumer.
Yeah, I think it is an anti-consumer move. And I will say thank you, Spartan, for the gifteds. Yoshi Overlord Steven. We've not seen that name, but thank you so much, Spartan. And yes, physical doesn't have full game on disc anyway, so you still don't own squat. I mean, some do, right?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, most games still do. I mean, yes, maybe some of the newer ones, which is kind of a shitty practice, I'll admit. Although, from my experience, things like this, I've only ever needed to install once, and I mean, maybe I'm not really offline, so I don't really know the full extent of that, but I'm pretty sure I only need to do that once, and then I'm fine. But either way, the disc is still here. I still have it. Unlike something like GTA 6, you get that physically, you're paying more, and it's just a code in a box, right? It doesn't seem to make sense. If we're gonna go in the digital future, at least prices should be reduced. Instead, we're inflating them as well. So not only are they making all the sales from their storefronts because they don't need to, sort of give some away to the retailers and the public, like they get the full 70 or whatever it is. But now they're going to raise it. They're going to get even more. So, yeah, again, it's all.
So here's a question: what? Because one of your arguments was like you have to buy from the PlayStation Store.
Yeah.
Right. What if there was another storefront you could buy from?
Well, that would make things better, and that's the argument for why PC is fine. People say, "Well, PC is all digital." Yes, but PC also has multiple storefronts that you can purchase from.
But does it really? Does it really? I mean, there's like what is the market share of Steam versus?
Obviously, Steam is much bit greater, right, than most of the others. But for example, if you get from GOG, you get your games DRM free, so you can install them, and even if it gets delisted, you will still have the game. It's not going to be removed from your library. You have multiple options to do that. You can also, when it comes to purchasing games and whatever, even through Steam, you can still have access to the actual files, the save files. It's more open, right? That's why a lot of people are sort of going more towards PC after all this, and that's probably why I would go. Would I still prefer if there were physical? Sure. But at the same time, if everything's going to be digital, at least I have a bit more of a choice there. You know what I mean?
Interesting. I think I hear the arguments. I feel like, so if it is consumer choice, I totally hear it. And then what you're saying is like, okay, if we're all going to go digital, then I might as well go to a PC where I have multiple storefronts because you want the option. I mean, I hear it in theory. I still think when I hear this, I'm still like, the vast majority are going to be bought on Steam. And if the idea is for you to eventually go to PC, where you're having to build your own PC, right? They're no longer subsidizing the cost of your game from that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I see where it's like, I guess it's out of principle that you're going to do it.
It is. I mean, I have been considering PC for a long time because there's a lot of games that I'm just unable to play with my friends as well. I mean, I have a Steam Deck, but it doesn't always run a lot of those games. It just makes things an extra hassle and whatever. So a PC would do me better. It's not completely affordable at the moment, with all these, RAM prices going up and all these other components and whatever. But at the end of the day, I mean, the PS6 isn't gonna be cheap either. It's gonna be at least $1,000. So if at the end, if I'm gonna continue gaming, then I'd rather go that route. And yeah.
So here, and thank you so much, Lotus. Spartan broke the gifteds, but thank you so much for just thank you anyway for the just the thought. So thank you, Spartan. Thank you, Lotus. Thank you both for the thought. I think that actually means more to me, just seeing that. So thank you all for that. So all right. So here's a question for you. Why not cloud gaming?
Because I want to play games natively, exactly where I want it. If I already am not loving the digital side of things, why would I go to cloud where I need to rely completely on Wi-Fi, and it being a very stable connection at all times?
Okay. Well, I was just saying, like, if you're saying $1,000 for the PlayStation, which we're saying, or whatever, we're saying, whatever 1,000 plus for the PC.
Yeah.
We're saying, like, I'm like wondering. I don't know. Maybe, maybe it's just not upgrading. What type of PlayStation do you have?
I have a PS5 Pro.
So why even upgrade?
No, I don't. I won't need to upgrade anytime soon. I'm just saying at a certain point later on when it becomes, which I don't think it will. That's the thing. We don't need new PlayStations. We don't need new Xboxes, but they're going to release them at some point soon, like in the next few years, even though there's no reason for them. But I'm just saying, theoretically, if I ever do need to go upgrade or whatever, and this is no longer feasible, or if they stop making games for this, which they probably won't for a while, then I will finally make the jump. And hopefully the market will ease or whatever, but still. But that was the other thing. Thank you for reminding me. With the PS5 Pro, with the disc drive, the reason I bought it today was because I'd actually been wanting to buy it for a long time. It's just that I hadn't made the jump because I always bought them usually digitally because I would share it with my brother. However, there were a few games, even with my old PS5, a base one, that I gave to him, that I would buy physically, that I knew, like, if I knew he didn't give a shit about it. My Demon Souls and Elden Ring and stuff. He doesn't care. He wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. So I'd buy those. But this, I know he's not going to play this anytime soon. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just get this. He's not super far away anymore like he used to be. So now was a good time. And I know that Sony is just going to raise the price on this thing at some point or another, like they have with their console, right? Same thing with Xbox. So I thought now's the time to do it. And, and that was another thing. A lot of people have been sort of pushed to go digital because they took away the disc drive in the first place. Right? They made you buy this separately, purchase it separately with the Slim.
Correct.
Right? It became an extra obstacle. So it obviously significantly increased. I don't know by how much, but it still increased a good number of digital purchases because people don't want to go out of their way to buy a So again, that is another scummy, greedy practice at the end of the day.
But they still and Lotus. 3 days, Lotus is getting the Steam machine. So Lotus, you're kind of the test bed for that. I'm really excited to hear how you do with that. And I see Rebellica's comment there. So I hear it. I think I bought the digital version. I like the idea of having the physical, the ability to buy something extra because it did come cheaper.
Yeah.
With digital, the Slim was cheaper than the regular base PS5.
Yeah.
And so to me, I thought that was okay, if you wanted the actual Slim plus the disc drive, it came out to be the same as the PS5. So
well,
I thought that was
yeah. Oh, you're talking about the original, right? The
PS5.
The disc versus the digital. Yeah.
That one. And so I thought that was a solid trade-off. Right, okay, you're going to charge me if I wanted it's going to be the same with PS5. And so that's kind of where I'm like, okay. I don't see, but maybe you're saying the PS5 Pro
Right.
was different.
Right. So with those two, it was good at first because it made it seem like if you get it, you can get it cheaper if you don't care about the disk drive. But a lot of people still went for it because it comes bundled with it. But now that it a lot of times doesn't come bundled with it, like yes, the Slim does still, right? A lot of them. But if you go out and get a PS5 Pro, it doesn't come with it. You have to buy it separately. So it's an extra expense. And it's not like it's a little bit of an extra expense. It's I don't know how much it is in USD. It was £70 for me, which is a lot. Right. And so I don't know, and then to top that off, you are increasing the actual base console price without it, and you continue to increase it. So it becomes a much bigger barrier of entry, especially if you're looking at the PS5 Pro. It was already much more expensive than the base was, and now price hike. So people aren't really going to look to be like, okay, I need the disk drive now, especially when we've moved into this ecosystem.
Yeah, I hear you. And I see Rebelico's talking about two different things. One was about game preservation. We
Mhm.
already know that film preservation is important. Look at the first 5-6 years of Doctor Who. Yep, I know that lost forever. And then she also was talking about in rural areas where they need it. The reason why I'm interested how this PS6 argument is going to play out is because so I have it's my least viewed video that I did was on this idea of physical movies, like HD Blu-ray. So in one of the main companies that's allowing that to still exist is Sony. Sony is one of the few ones who still makes an HD Blu-ray player. They make the projectors. So when I hear Sony's killing physical in games, I need to see more of what's going to happen, because I still think there might be a future where there is an additional accessory to allow you to play physical. But again, I don't know.
But they still print movies, don't they? They still put them. They still put them on discs. They still have new UHD Blu-rays.
They do, but I think the thing about it is, if we look at the Blu-ray market, it worked or any of them. It works similar to where I am 8-bit, kind of where you have a third party who is going to put they'll license out the film to them, and then you're seeing more collector's editions. Kill Bill just came out in 4K. It's never came out in 4K before. It was always in Blu-ray. So it just came out 6 months ago. And if you look at the Kill Bill when it came out, it was $80 for both of them, which is way more than a Blu-ray. But the reason why is because it was a special edition, blah, blah, blah. And so I could see where games go that route. Where if you want the physical version, if that's what your thing is. But I still think games, there's a difference between streaming a game or streaming a movie and physical movies, because the physical movie does give you more than the digital movie. Streaming the movie does. Games, I don't see where there's not a performance upgrade. It's not like I get better sound. It's not like I get a better picture. So I'm trying to see where's the business case for physical, given that so many people, because if you look at the trend line, it's not like physical games are moving up. Every year is moving down less and less and less.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's because we've created
I totally hear what you're saying.
A space where it becomes much more difficult to do something like that. But but the thing is, yes, even though you don't necessarily get upgrades in that it sounds better or it looks better, you often, like I said, they'll give you extra things. You wouldn't get a map like this.
Yeah, this looks super cool.
Right?
I think what you have, Ubisoft did an amazing job with that.
right? And that's something that you would see Rockstar do just a
Yes.
few years ago. And now they aren't even including a disc, which is strange to me because it's like they used to go the extra mile, and here they are backtracking and just giving you a code and charging more for it. So, you know.
Yeah. No, I think so. What I hear from you, the strongest arguments I hear is consumer choice.
Yeah.
Game preservation. I hear it. Yeah, I hear that one, but I think the consumer choice is the bigger one, whether it's about pricing or just the option to. I hear that, and that's also the digital storefront versus multiple digital. I totally hear that, and obviously what you just showed right there, which is like the additional things, the map, so forth. I think that's all makes sense.
Mhm.
And I guess where I'm saying is when I look at whether it's physical versus digital in music, physical versus digital in movies, physical versus digital in watches, physical versus digital in books, I've seen some version of this same argument play out where it's like, oh, they're killing physical, and it still somehow finds a way to survive. And so that's why I continue to come down to if there is a market,
Mhm.
it will survive. And
So, I mean, if the case is where they do have that third party printing, I guess it won't be as bad, but I guess people have to wait and see. But I feel as though it may be that I don't know if how far they would go to have those third parties even printing it in the first place. Maybe we'll have like a couple games here and there, but I don't know. I don't imagine the vast majority would have those. Definitely not the first party.
well, I think like it depends. I continue to say to get a good idea of how this works, I was like, there's like 4 or 5 of these companies. Like I am 8-Bit's one of them. Limited Run Games is another one. And I could see multiple, like if there is a market to where there's like 10,000 people will buy this physically. That's a solid, like that's how these things run. That's their entire business model. Or even 5,000 or 2,500. It depends on the game. If there's like a dedicated group of people who are willing to spend, and it doesn't like it's got to probably be 10, 20,000 people on physical, there will be a market for it because it's an easy. The reason why Sony doesn't want to do it is because that's not Sony's business isn't producing physical media. Like they want to produce like either the content, like that's what they really want to do, the content, and just
which is a little bizarre to me considering they, their whole Blu-ray business and how much the selling point for the PS3 was that it had a Blu-ray in it.
Well, I mean, Mel, you're talking 20 years ago. You're talking 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, Mel, are you having your back in my day moment right now?
No.
Are you
I'm not that old. Are you officially
getting
when the
old?
PS3 came out, I was only.
Did y'all see what just happened? He threw that back like he did not realize that he was talking about something that happened 20 years ago. But it's good. I hear you. But no, I think you're making legit points. I don't want to if anybody legit points on sucks for there not to be physical, or if that is the case, I still come on the side of if there are people who are willing to buy it, there's going to be someone who's willing to sell it. And so yeah, that's how I'm approaching it. And I'm going to wait to see what this actual thing is, because everybody's saying it's like a Switch thing, and now they're saying it's like a Steam machine type of thing. I don't know what it is. I can understand where Sony's like, we're not going to make physical, but I could also see, because they do this where they're like, but Stillbox will make our physical. And if you want to go buy the physical from Stillbox, which I would think Stillbox would make a killing because like physical already is $70. So like if Stillbox wanted to charge like $140, there you go.
Did you see anything about them talking about how they that they would only go digital, like where they won't be doing disk drives anymore? I haven't really looked too much into it.
Well, well, you were the one who told me.
Yeah, that's what I read. No, like I saw it.
You
somewhere,
told
but
me.
I don't know exactly if you like saw something where they were saying actually they are going to be doing that.
No, my whole commentary was like,
okay.
if they are going to do it, or if they're not, like that's what I was saying. If they're not gonna do it, then I totally hear. But I'm like, will they? Will they not? I don't know that. And until I see something purely coming out of them that says like, here are the specs of the PlayStation 6, I'm taking like things that have been translated in investor calls somewhat. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not an official thing because I don't even know what the form factor of this machine is, nor when it's coming out, if it even is coming out. But we says the TV is only good so you pay for it. If your TV can't show the best, it can do upgrade your TV. Ooh, Spartan coming in hot on that one. That's why we got a PS3 for Blu-ray and Little Big Planet. I got a PS3 for the Blu-ray too. I'm not gonna. I do have it.
Yeah, I actually got Little Big Planet with my PS3 as well. It was good, which is funny because Little Big Planet 3 is no longer on the PlayStation Store either.
Oh,
was delisted. Yeah.
Is that a PlayStation thing or is that the publisher thing?
PlayStation thing.
PlayStation said they didn't want to have it anymore. So you cannot buy Little Big Planet at all on the PlayStation Store.
No. Media Monaco, they gave like a little window to be like, hey, apparently they're shutting this down. If you want to purchase it, you can right now. I missed that window, unfortunately. So because when I remember when it came out, like I was like, okay, maybe I'll get it, but there were other games I had priority in, and then it came to PlayStation Plus, so I didn't need to, and I didn't think it was going to get delisted. Suddenly, it gets delisted, and I don't have access to that game anymore. So,
so is that only the PlayStation Store? Like you can still buy Little Big Planet on Xbox. You can still buy it on.
No, it's a PlayStation exclusive.
Oh, Little Big Planet's a PlayStation exclusive.
But I think you probably maybe find a hard copy out in the wild somewhere. I'm sure. But otherwise, yeah, from the PlayStation Store itself, it's gone. And also, if you had it in your library, then it's also gone. I think unless you purchased it, but if you had it on PlayStation Plus, it's gone.
The PlayStation Plus, I can understand. That I can understand.
Yeah.
If you bought it digitally, so I'm gonna have to do some research. I'm gonna have to do some research on this.
Yeah.
Like I believe y'all. Let me dig in a little bit more. It's because like I said, it seems like this was a longer one. Gameplay is my number one thing that brings me to gaming. But damn, I love an epic AAA game. I think they can be all the same. The servers for Little Big Planet games went down last year or longer ago. I forget now. So wait, so is this a game of multiplayer? Is this an online game?
You can play online, yeah. They do have an online component. But there is also single player. You can play it by yourself.
I'm going to have to do a little bit more research. Like I do know about the Grid situation, the racing games that Daytona was talking about earlier.
Yeah, Grid as well, yeah.
Yeah, so I do understand that one. Let me do a little bit of digging. I think this preservation.
I believe Drive Club also isn't on there anymore either. And actually, I have to look it up. I have to check my library, but I'm pretty sure I don't have that anymore. And I purchased that one.
Interesting. Which one?
Drive Club.
I think.
Do you remember Drive Club?
I don't. You would have to ask Daytona. Daytona knows all the racing games.
Yeah, Grid. I think that was one of them for sure. But I think Drive Club as well. I don't think I have anymore, and I remember purchasing it. Oddly enough, but anyway, we'll see.
Let me know. I'm gonna do a little bit of research. I'm gonna do a little bit of digging on this, like to figure out because I hear your game preservation arguments. Like, hey, if we bought it, like, I'm more concerned about things you already bought.
Yeah,
it's no longer there versus things.
Well, like I said, they did that with a bunch of people's movies that they bought off of the PlayStation Store. They're gone.
I'm more concerned about things that have been bought versus things that hypothetically you will buy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So let me go back and look into. Let me do a little bit of digging because I'll just be shooting from the hip. I don't have the
Mhm.
information.
Yeah. Okay.
This Hot Topic Little Big Planet wasn't that good anyways. Oh wow.
I mean,
Anthony.
I mean,
Cowboy in your
it
mind.
doesn't really matter how good or bad the game is. It still has a right to exist. You know, somebody made it. It is still a piece of art, regardless of how you view it, and shouldn't just be erased from history just because of it. You know,
I need to see why it was erased. I guess that's my thing. Like, why was it taken down?
I can't even. It
Is-
was a few years ago at this point. I think it was 2023.
yeah, but I can still like. I
2024?
still think like
Yeah.
because is if the decision to take it down, like, all right, Steam. Like, I don't know why there were so many PC gamers who were willing to die on this hill, but Steam took down like all these like hentai, pornographic like games
Oh,
from their
yeah.
store.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, well, that to your, they were making the argument you're making, which
Yeah.
is like, well, it's art, it needs to be able to exist. And it's like, well, when does it make sense to censor?
Well, they still do have it on there.
What?
They still
Mel,
do have those.
You're,
No, they
Mel,
pop
are
up
you
and-
no,
no.
you're like no,
Listen,
I still get
listen.
my monthly fix of
No,
this.
no, I
Is
don't.
that what you're
Listen,
saying?
when I go through this trending list, it's all like it's usually like top 2 or something. There is something there. Believe me, it's always there. So they still have them. So I don't know about that specifically. Maybe there was a few that got really bad. I don't know.
Yeah, well, they took like 200 off like around last fall, late summer, fall timeline, and but the ones they were taking off were like, yeah, like that's okay to take off. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And so like that's why I want to go back and see because I didn't cover this back then, and
No.
I want to say, hey Zalek, we have some news for Zalek. She's gonna have some Australia. We had some Australian news, just for Zalek. I forget. Here it is. Here you go, Zalek. GTA 6 players in Australia will need to ID to play the game due to online safety laws. So I did this just for Zalek, y'all. I gave her her own thing. She did not know. So here you go.
Wow.
I don't know.
I'd imagine it probably because we have a lot of those safety laws now. It usually starts in Australia and then it moves over to Europe. So we'll probably get something like that sooner or later.
I mean, I think the biggest thing was like Rouster was talking about ID laws and outright. He's like, how do you implement them? And I think that's a great question, but I'm going to be honest. Like I'm at the point where I like wish people would ask for my ID versus just assuming.
Yes, but then like at first I thought, yeah, okay, this is fine. But then when it became an obstacle to just go, like, for example, I can't even sometimes, like, depending on if I'm on a particular Wi-Fi network, mine's fine. But there are certain ones that restrict access to even something like Reddit, which I get has those things. But just to be able to scroll even and have that option off, like, I would need to either have some other access or I need to put on a VPN or something. So it's just an extra, hurdle.
Mel, you're so interesting because I feel like physical is an extra hurdle, but the ID thing, you're like, that's a hurdle too far.
No. If it's for like almost every website that I visit at this point, then yeah.
Now, what type of websites you're visiting? Because you know a lot about these hentai games. It seems like you're going.
Reddit is, I should just be able to browse. I mean, yeah, it has those things on there, but there's a filter for that,
I'm a senior.
And Discord as well required that as well.
It's okay, Mel. So as we know Mel is if you want to get your weekly fix of hentai, Mel has you covered.
No,
thank you so much. Spartan's making sure he broke it. Spartan and Lotus have broken the gifteds again. Little Big Planet 3 and also you were
nice.
permanently removed from the PlayStation Store on October 31st. So I'm going to do some, thank you, Sean L. Welcome, Sean. I don't know if you heard me earlier. Thank you so much for coming by. I will check. I'm going to do some research on this. I probably shouldn't because of how much this is coming up. I do want to do a little bit of this. And is it purely anti-consumer move? Like, or is there, or what is the spin on the pro? Like, I want to see it a little bit more. Obviously, y'all know how I feel about Xbox or Microsoft, so I might as well do the same treatment to something else and see.
Yeah.
The delisting followed prolonged technical challenges, specifically insurmountable. Whoa, I don't think I've ever typed that word out. That is a long word. I know what it means, but I'm just saying I've never typed it out. Insurmountable server issues and denial of service attacks caused by hackers, which ultimately forced Sony to shut it down. So, Mel, what do you think about this?
I mean, that's shutting down the servers, but do you need to totally delist the entire game? Is it just because it costs something to keep it up or whatever? Because there is still you can still play single player. It's not like you have to play online, or am I reading that wrong?
No, he's saying it's a DOS attack, so denial of service. So maybe I'm gonna have to if this is the reason, there is something to say that there was a vulnerability in the game that potentially was putting more than just the game at risk. And so, I don't want to, but that's just me assuming. But I think the thing is, I want to figure out what was happening. Was Sony telling the publisher or whoever owned the rights, you need to fix your game, and they didn't fix it? How long was this building?
It's almost
so it seems interesting. That's but I hear y'all. I'm gonna do y'all gave me a whole list of games that have been delisted. I'm gonna do, just like I watched a whole bunch of vampire movies last week. I am gonna do this one this week. So yeah. Remember when the PS Network kept going down? Yes, is this the Christmas Day Massacre thing that Daytona was talking about? Well, you shut down the servers. Why still sell the game? Because people would be buying a product and not being able to use the whole game. That's false advertisement. So we have to see. Did they shut down the servers and then they had a vulnerability in the game? I don't know. Did Sony not play ball with them? I don't know. And the hacks they kept stealing credit cards info. Dracula Untold. I'm not sure if that's that one.
I feel like Bulletstorm, again, a lot of this is just memory based, but I feel like Bulletstorm was sold for a while as well. Even though they went offline too. But you could still buy, you could. I remember I got it after the servers went offline, and I played a little bit of the single player campaign, knowing that I couldn't go online. So I feel like maybe a little disclaimer or something, selling it for cheaper. I don't know.
I hear you. So next week, it seems like this is a really big one. I'm gonna come back to this topic next week with more information. So that's what I promise you all. That's what I promise you all to do. So yeah. But with that said, we still have PlayStation 5s. You still have physical on PlayStation 5s until PlayStation 6 or Xbox. Xbox, you have physical unless you have a Series S. No physical on that. There is still physical out there. And if you are someone who is into physical, Mel, put up your physical that you just bought today.
Yeah.
Support the physical game. Support it. There it goes. Black.
And to be fair, I'm not anti-digital. I'm primarily digital. Just I like both. I like the option of both.
Yes, I think that's what I took. I think the strongest argument you put forward was the just to have the ability to do both.
In fact, I also have Ubisoft Plus, so I can also play this game on my Xbox as well, digitally, just so I can try it out and see how they, differ. But yeah.
And they're saying Bulletstorm was released. I gotta y'all. There's some. I need to see what the background is on this stuff. Like that's what I'm going to say. I need to see what the background is, to see how it works. Like I will give you all an example of a game that is currently you can't buy on Switch 2 that you can buy on Switch 1. And that is Overcooked All You Can Eat. You can't buy that on Switch 2 because there's like stability problems with it on Switch 2. So they just took away the whole the ability. You can't even play it on Switch 2. So if you had it in your Switch 1 store, you cannot play it on your Switch 2. But that's a whole stability issue. That's like a technical issue, and so they just took it down. And so, like, I know that because I like Overcooked, but I'm wondering if there's more to these stories than people are letting on. Like, is there a world that there's a stability issue with the game? The publisher went out of business. The people who own the rights to the game went out of business. So there's no one there to fix the game. And now you're potentially putting more than just that game at risk because of some vulnerability. To me, that's a reason why, like, you want to keep it, but you can't keep it, especially if it has an online component. But I hear what y'all are saying, which is physical prevents that from happening. But I could still see where they can prevent if the game was ever to go back online, or if you ever connected your PlayStation online, where they could kill switch the game. So I don't know. Let me dig a little. I'm thinking. My noodle is thinking. If PlayStation 6 is announced at $1,500, I'm buying it. Of course you are. You buy WWE at $160 every year. Of course you're gonna spend.
Okay.
Yeah, that is Cowboy. That is what he spends. Sign me up. I need the PlayStation digital bangers. Yeah, right. He's trying to get under your skin, Mel.
Yeah.
I got it on digital, but we'll buy secondhand disc later. They didn't have the same pre-order bonus. Zalik, but your physical works different. Because like you have these Zalik's from Australia. And she has these price differentials between physical and digital that are just super extreme. Overcooked 2 is back. And with a switch to Overcooked 2 is, but not Overcooked All You Can Eat. Overcooked All You Can Eat is Overcooked 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So I know my Overcooked shot.
wait. So you can Overcooked 1 you can't play, but Overcooked All You Can Eat you can play.
No, Overcooked. No. Overcooked 1 you can. Overcooked 1 and Overcooked All You Can Eat you cannot play.
Oh, okay. You can't play either. Okay, right. Okay.
But Overcooked 2 has a Switch 2 version.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
You can play.
Okay.
But they're having issues with Overcooked 1. Something Overcooked 1. I don't know what it is.
All right. Sure.
Do your due diligence. I see what you did there, Spartan. Sims 1 and 2 were not available at all online until they were re-released last year, and I've picked up remastered digital versions of games I have on DVD, like Stronghold, Anos. Is the Anno 17 series good? I always like their music.
I've never played it.
I never played it either.
I think I own one of them somewhere, but I haven't touched it though.
There are some games that have been delisted because a remake came out. Often remakes that people felt were weird. So tell me this one. Put these in there. Put these in chat. I want it. Like I will go back and read it.
I know that they delisted Yakuza 0 just so that they could put up Yakuza 0 Director's Cut so that they could charge full price again for the same game just with an extra little bonus.
Wait. Sean, you're telling. Okay, hold on.
I don't know about. I don't think PlayStation did that though, but yeah.
All right, so you gave me some games there. Sean L is saying that his daughter was playing Overcooked 2 on Switch 2. Nah, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Because I can't play it on Switch 2. I
I'm
don't
trying to
believe it,
look-
Sean.
I'm trying to look into. I remember something about there being regional pricing as well.
For which one?
Like where they test different prices on the PlayStation Store.
Let me see it. I'll have to see it. I have to see it.
Yeah,
Wait,
A/B
Sean-
testing. Yeah, they have a dynamic pricing model. That's what it is.
For which one?
On the PlayStation Store, they conduct A/B testing so that they can have varying prices and personalized discounts for the same game to different users. This dynamic pricing model has affected hundreds of AAA and indies across dozens of regions, with observed price drops occasionally exceeding 50%.
Interesting. Do you have that article? Can you post it in the Discord?
Yeah, hold on.
Sean, I just looked, Sean. Sean, I just looked. We're at a standstill, y'all. Sean L is telling me I can play Overcooked All You Can Eat on Switch 2. And I'm like, I don't think I can. I need you to do. I need you to. You need dynamic prices are stupid. But I don't know. I got to see more on this because I haven't seen it. Is a Nintendo Switch 2 a potato? It's a potato. You know, it's like a potato. It's a different player. How can they give discounts to different players? Like, what are they basing that off of?
I don't know. Because I remember seeing that like a few months back. I don't know how it actually works though. Okay, where? Okay, please. Okay. Should I share it in gaming updates or chat, or I don't know?
Yeah, whichever one. Whichever one.
Okay.
I mean, the only people who get super upset if you put it in the wrong category are Ambi and Rouster. They will get upset. So like just don't
Okay.
put in like media share or something that's obviously not the case.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
if you put in like chat, I think they would be okay with that. Don't let me because they are really they I do get messages when Cowboy posts stuff in the wrong channel. It was fixed with the 5/12/2026 update perp. I did not. You're telling me Overcooked All You Can Eat was fixed?
Here's one from Polygon too. They also reported on it, just in case.
So wait, okay. So he is saying. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. So now I need to figure out. I'm not. Can I buy it though?
You know what? I have my Switch 2 right here. Let me just look at it.
Can you buy Overcooked 2 All You Can Eat on Switch 2?
Let's check it out.
Or is it purely a backwards compatibility thing?
Oh god, I have to update this shit.
I had to update it like a week ago. Time price is used to entice infrequent buyers in the store. But if it gets you a cheaper price, is that not good? Like, I don't understand. Like, if the dynamic pricing can give you a cheaper deal, is that not good?
Yeah, but only for certain people. Not everyone gets it. Some people, like, they can be buying the same thing, but they will have to pay more because they're not getting that random price discount or whatever, which I don't know how that works.
I don't know. I don't know how this works either. I don't know if I've seen it. I'm like, am I paying the wrong thing? Like I am the type of person who like goes through stores to digital storefronts like on Nintendo just looking at deals. That's my thing. Go to the product page. Mel's on it now.
There we go. Yep.
You can buy it.
Overcooked 2, Overcooked 2 Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Oh, Overcooked Special Edition. There you go. And all you can eat. They're both there.
You can buy it.
Yep. I'm not gonna buy it because I already own them.
No, but you don't have to buy it. If you can buy
But yeah.
it, if you can
Yeah, you
buy
can.
it, then I stand corrected. Sean L's right. His daughter helped me. I have to go back and look now. Because last time I checked, which I will admit wasn't recently.
So here's Overcooked Special Edition right here.
And you can buy it for
Yeah.
$17.99 on this, and this is the Switch too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at that.
And then you got all.
I'm good. This is amazing. I mean, this is like the best day ever. This is like when Star Fox came out.
There we go.
This is like when Star Fox came out.
I haven't bought Star Fox.
I am like super excited. I know you're not gonna buy Star Fox because you beat it on the Nintendo Switch Online thing, but you're missing out.
No, I got it. I got it through. I did it through 3DS emulator.
Even worse, but
Arguably
you're missing out.
Yeah.
But I still think my stand still makes sense that it was not available on the Switch 2 for a while, and then they brought it. Now it's available. So so I'm happy though, because like I'm gonna go do something with Overcooked now. So that I'm super happy. Super happy. Look at that. Thank you, Sean. I would gift you a membership, but I don't know how to do that. But yeah. So Mel, what's going on with you? You know, we are getting late in the wee morning for you.
Yeah. What I've got in the works is I haven't gotten around to it. Still backlog, but I still got to do Pragmata review. Still got to do 007 First Light and Lego Batman. I've played them all. I just haven't written yet.
Can you give us like a preview of what we may see in these?
Yeah, just I guess the usual stuff where I talk about you know, how I think, well, like the story usually, and then how they perform and such. You know.
Which one's your favorite out of those three?
007 First Light for sure. Yeah.
Over Pragmata.
Pragmata's good. It's just like it doesn't really impact. It didn't impact me until really the end. It was just kind of like a good time, a little repetitive at times, but yeah, it was fun.
So 007 First Light. So I saw Cowboy. He was in chat earlier. He played. I don't think he liked it too much. Like I felt like a little bit more like it's slower. It's not like a shooting up type of deal. Like but you like the story in the game more?
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, it doesn't need to be fast paced for me to enjoy it. It's I'm not the biggest fan of Bond to begin with, but like I liked this one. I will say that. You know what I mean? Okay. Obviously, like the movies are good too, but I would say I enjoyed the story of this more than the movies.
Got it. In Zalek, he bought it in physical. So he bought a physical drive and the physical version today just to spite Sony, to stick it to Sony. And he has 6 hours in it.
I exaggerate that it's just to spite them. I did want it for a while, but yeah, it was the final push.
Now here's the truth. It was already a planned purchase that he's now just adding more emotion to it.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna wait still because I was like, man, 70 pounds is a lot. But then after this, I'm like, you know what? Who knows? Sony could raise the price on this eventually too. So I might as well do it now.
God, there you go. I think the Instacart is the midst of a dynamic privacy controversy because it charged people more based on personal. Ooh, that's protected status. Yeah, I don't know. Well, if you're an employee, ooh, seems like a
Hmm?
class action waiting to unfold with Instacart. Ooh,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, he has played Black Flag. I said that. I haven't heard about the Instacart thing, but the dynamic pricing, the idea is you are getting a discount, but maybe not a good discount as someone who doesn't use the store as much in practice. Ah, my goodness.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't know what I don't like this. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I don't like this. I do not like this. And who's doing this? Who's doing this?
Wait, for
Sony?
what? Oh,
And
yeah. For what I was talking about. Yeah. That was the PlayStation Store. Yeah.
PlayStation Store doing dynamic pricing.
Yeah.
Wow. And they're saying they're having success with this?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. If I remember again, memory serves. I remember someone saying like, or it had something to do with like, oh, if you view, or if you're looking to buy a particular thing, right, and you're like thinking about purchasing it and whatever, it will purposely make it so that it raises it a little bit than it normally would have, or something like that. I was like, that sounds insane, but yeah.
Interesting. So are we I'm gonna have to see more. I'm gonna have to look into this a little bit more. But yeah, if that is the case, I don't like that. I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um,
As for this game, ship combat is fine. I'm not like the biggest fan of it. I try to avoid it when I can, but yeah, it's not as bad. There are different difficulty settings, and you can tweak it for each thing for combat and everything. Although combat is quite different. It's better in some ways, but it's also just different. Like it's gonna take a while to get used to the controls because they're not the same. Yeah.
yeah, thank you, Amby, for posting it. Purple, where's the link? I have just a few things to say about this fake digital Mel.
Uh,
He's coming for you. He's coming for you. No, he's joking. Mel can take it.
Yeah.
It's all fun. It's not a bad thing, I think. It's to get the non-spinners to. I don't think, like, I guess I need to see how it's, because if you're saying you're raising the price, like, is it normally 20% off and then this non-person comes on and they get it for 25 and then I'm someone who now gets it for 15%. I need a
mhm.
I need to see how it plays, but this is happening, like this is what airlines do, right? Like someone on a plane could get a seat cheaper than you got a seat for, or someone could stay at a hotel you could stay at a. I'm not, by the way, I am not defending the practice.
Yeah.
But I am saying that I feel like this is starting to is not
Yeah.
as good.
No.
It's like plane tickets. Yeah, it's exactly what I said. It's like plane tickets. All right. And we have the Cowboy. Cowboy, how are you doing?
All right, listen, Mel.
Yeah.
I like you, man. You know, you're a Resident Evil fan, so I
Mhm.
like you. But no, listen, all right. I do feel like this is a slightly little bit of fake outrage, okay? Now, I'm gonna give you 3 scenarios, okay?
Right.
All right. People are saying, like, oh my God, they're gonna take my stuff. Here's 3 scenarios that realistically happen, that really often happen. Number 1, there could be a lawsuit. You could purchase a game, there could be a lawsuit, and then unfortunately they have to take that game back. And I'll give you a scenario for each. Friday the 13th. So Victor Miller wrote the original screenplay many years ago, couldn't sue for like 35 years. This is a legit true story. Years later, he sued, won, got the rights to Friday the 13th. Everything had to stop. Friday 13 game, it was going to come out with DLC. I remember it was September the 4th. They said you can't even buy it because they never finished it. Okay? That could happen. That rarely happens in video games, maybe some little indie games, but that really happens. So that needs to stop. Number 2, you can have a game where the first one came out and then the second one came out, and unfortunately, nobody's really playing the first one. They're more than playing the second one, so they shut down the server for the old one. And I understand you paid your money for it, but it's business. They want to push you to the new game, The Crew Part 1. That did happen, all right? It doesn't happen all the time. Stop it, stop it. And the third one is, so let me see. So you can have a lawsuit happen. You can have, the new game, old game come out, and then you can have a game that's super popular, and then guess what? It's just not making a lot of money. And that's Anthem. Anthem was supposed to be the Destiny killer. It was super popular, but it wasn't. And guess what? They pulled the plug, shut it down because nobody was playing it. People act like this happens all the time. Oh my God, they're going to take my games. There are only a few situations that they take your games. I just told you 3 of them. That doesn't happen all the time. All right, now, I'm not going to act like if you like physical and you do want to collect, you want to put things on a little shelf, little helmets that come with little Halo packages. Cool, I get that. For you, that's not cool. And you're going to be missing out on something. But you could take your money and spend it somewhere else. Unfortunately, it seems like everything going to digital. Plus, let's not forget, everybody said the PC is amazing, and I'm leaving console for PC, and PC market by 2028 is going to be bigger than the consoles. PC is zero digital. Now, of course, you want to steal, call it whatever term you want. I'm going to use the word steal. So, of course, if you want to steal stuff and game preserve, then fine, you can do what you want, I guess, right? But let's be clear. That is a growing market. Remember, PC wasn't even popular. PC is getting very popular, and so many console players are migrating to PC. No one's crying. No one's flipping tables and chairs over. And let's be real, Xbox Helix is probably going to do the same thing. Then you have the two, like, Nintendo is Nintendo, right? Nintendo, listen, people say you can't talk about Nintendo. Listen, Nintendo's Nintendo. They might be the last front holding up cartridges, all right? And unfortunately, that's just gaming.
I think Nintendo is the last holding up cartridges. No one does cartridges.
Not to 2028. But, well, yes, cartridges. You're right.
No one does cartridges.
I meant to say physical. But, no, I mean, I just feel like, listen, I guess I'm coming from, I've been, before all my friends jumped on the digital, I've been buying only digital over a decade, right? And I'm gonna tell you 2 reasons. I'm gonna keep it real because it's Anthony L. Lewis in real life, aka the Cowboy. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was one of the people that would just buy games day one, right? Your Bullet Storms you talking about, day one, right? And then I'll play and beat it and trade it to GameStop. Then a friend of mine's like, I got that game, we should play together. And well, the original Bullet Storm did have an online mode. So I would end up buying the game again. And I would be like, man, I keep buying games over and over. And I was like, but they got digital. And I was like, you know what? If I just buy it digital, then I could delete it and then download it again. And I'll stop doing it. And then number 2, I'm not going to lie, keeping it real, I'm lazy. I was like, bro, I'm getting tired of getting up and walking to the TV and putting in another disc. Like when I could have them all downloaded. So I am not coming at anybody who do like physical. But I am coming at the people like, in my Discord, I got people who are diehard PC. Severin. Oh, I can't believe it. This is crazy. The consoles are getting, look what PlayStation doing. Like, bro, you're a PC guy. You walk in every room and make it clear, I'm a PC guy. Be quiet and sit in the high chair.
So in Mel, correct? Mel caught some. So Mel's biggest thing, Mel, correct me if I'm wrong. One is just he's a hybrid. So he buys mostly digital.
I did hear that.
So, but the other thing is, which I think he makes a great point,
right?
At least physical gives you a competitive pricing scenario, as where digital you only can buy from one storefront.
And I will agree. So that's the main thing that PC people would say. They would say, hey, listen, we have different storefronts, so we can. And I will be making a video saying that I just found out that PC players are the broke gamers. But anyway, so but you know, they do let you know, like, listen, you could go to GOG, you go to Steam, you go to Epic, you go to all these different places. If you don't like that price, you get it this price. And if PlayStation only had digital, then yes, you couldn't walk to a GameStop and get a game that's, you know, $24 and they still selling it for full price. So that is, I do agree with that. But you know, the thing is, I don't want to push me onto other people, but I am one of those people where now I will be affected, as you all know. If you know me.
Gamefly.
Now I'm a fan, all right? I always got a Gamefly. But without physical, I won't be able to Gamefly, right? Now, I'll make it clear. This will hurt because I do like playing games that you guys pay for and you can't stand. So people are like, that game was terrible. Like David Wilson. He said, I put 170 hours in Crimson Desert and stopped playing it. I just sent that back after playing it for 2 days. I was like, yeah, that ain't me. So games that I do want to buy, I buy day and date. Like the purple, not $160, $150 I spent for WWE this year. Okay, every year. Probably next year it will be 160. But this year
That is ridiculous. You
That is
realize
ridiculous.
how ridiculous is this?
But for me personally, just me, if I like it, so and probably because I've been game flying since 2008 and it came out in 2004, I'm a little different. A lot of people, they kind of like, oh, I think I like this game. I've seen a trailer, I'm gonna buy it. I usually played it if I'm like, it looks all right, like the game you like, Mel, go 007 First Light. It got so my issue was when I first started playing it, I'm big on controls, meaning I just feel like if you got a game that jump, X got to be jump. Like if X isn't jump, somebody needs to be fired. Crimson Desert, Square was jump. I'm like, who? Why?
So I take it you didn't like God of War either.
Well, no, God of War, you just couldn't jump. That's different, right? That's different.
Yeah,
God of
but
War
to
is my-
climb, you gotta circle.
yeah, the climb was X.
Or-
The climb
or-
was X though. It made
No.
sense. It was
No,
intuitive.
I'm pretty
right?
sure. I'm pretty sure it's circle.
Oh,
Or,
well, maybe I changed my controls because I was just
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
I've been playing Valhalla like crazy, and it's X for me. So that's my second favorite video game franchise of all time, and Resident Evil is number 1. Don't try to get me, Mel. So listen. So I just feel like I'm not gonna push me on people, but if I like a game, I'm buying it day one. So the sales that come a year later, oh, I can't believe you can't get a sale. You didn't want the game anyway. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I get it though. I get it
Yeah.
though. Some people, not everybody's me. So, but I do feel like it's because we're in this nuance of influencers and views. I feel like it is a bit of people are jumping on the bandwagon to make a big stink. But I feel like if we all be honest, I feel like it's been at least 6 years that the general probably longer than that, but let's just say that the general public realized, wait, you mean we're only paying for licenses? You mean even the disc isn't really ours? Like that's been a thing. I think if you're a gamer today, you kind of know that, right?
Yeah.
I seen a really good video on Twitter or X today. This lady, she was like, she was breaking it down. She was like, and she was showing like where Sony, like she said, the moment, and this is period, video games, the moment you buy that game, you agreed that you don't own this game. You own the license that they can take away. So when we're like going crazy, but we're not doing our due diligence. Like we're buying stuff that we don't understand what we purchase. So who is it really at fault? The company or us? Now, I do sometimes people say like, well, you speak for the company a lot. I just love business. I'm not gonna lie. And I love like the knowledge and in the know. And if you kind of know or did your research or you do diligence on what you was purchasing, you could only really be mad at you. Now, I get it. We want to stop them from taking away physical. And I agree because I still want a game flop. Now, me personally, I just do love the Sony style movie games and blah, blah, blah. So I said it live. If the PlayStation 6 is $1,500, because I don't think it's going to be cheaper than $1,000, I'll spend $1,500, right? Because I get it. I see where things is going, right? But at the end of the day, I personally like their style of games, so that's why I would get it. But I don't recommend anybody else because if you could get an Xbox or something else that's going to have the same third-party games, then it is what it is. So I just want to come on here and just throw a little bit around there, just something for you guys to think about, and so let's talk about it.
All right. Well, yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, so when it comes, I think a lot of people, there are certainly people who weren't aware what they're buying, what they're purchasing. I know I've always been, and I've always actively made that choice knowing that these could be taken away,
Yeah.
However, I knew it was for my needs, but I'm not just looking at myself. I'm looking at everyone as a collective and the choice to be able to pick up a game from whatever store that they want, wherever they want, for whatever price, right? Same thing. And it does kind of apply to me because it means that I can also do that too, if I so choose. Like I said, with a few weeks ago, I wouldn't have been able to pick up Monster Hunter Wilds for £7. if there wasn't a disk drive, right? And if there wasn't a physical, I would have to pay 3 times the amount just to play the same game. And yes, they have other models like Game Pass, which it's not on, but if you want to try a game or whatever, this game, I'm not even wasn't going to be entirely sure I liked until I played it myself. So imagine me spending that much more for something that I wasn't even sure about. That
And what platform you bought that on?
I bought that for my Xbox.
Hey, I'm just saying, Mel, this works too on Xbox. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody be like, "Go, are you waiting for something to come in the mail?" But I'm not. You guys are spending all this
why
money.
are you trying? You just told us this business model is going away, or why are you trying to sell Mel a
Because
GameFly
we still got 2 years. So you need to just start playing these games that you don't really. So here's my thing. This allows me to play games I don't want to own. Maybe I want to play and beat. I played and beat First Light. Played and beat it. This allowed me to play and beat it, but not pay for it. The $70. Now, is it worth $70? I think it was great. It was a movie game. Like I heard you say that you thought it was better than the movies. It's a movie. Like you're playing a 007 movie. I just wish maybe it was like the combat, that the gun shooting was good. So Purple, I didn't say the gun shooting was bad. The gun shooting was good, but I felt the hand-to-hand combat, when you watch it, it looked good. You grabbing people, slamming them. But when you're playing it, it's very simple. It's pretty much one button, and then it's the one button to grab, and then it's the button to dodge. People trying to charge you, and then it's the button to parry. That honestly, that should have been the same button, and then you should have had a weak attack, a hard attack. It would have been amazing. I need to make video games, but yeah, it was great. So I'm just saying that games that I want to buy, I'm usually know that I want that game, and I'm buying the day and date, and I'm paying full price.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. Now, Mel, I'll tell you this: Monster Hunter Wilds, I purchased day one, and I put like crazy, like 300 something hours in like 2 months. It was ridiculous. That's all I played. It was crazy. But great game, but I burnt myself out. But anyway, guys, man, we just have to know what we're purchasing. We have to accept what we're purchasing, because this is how people get buyer's remorse. I can't believe I bought this game. It wasn't worth it. Did you watch the trailer? Did you try to play a demo? It's a thing called GameFly. It ain't Game Pass, because Game Pass don't have everything. If it's on physical, they got it. I'm just saying, do your due diligence. And then when you're like, oh, I really do like the game, then you hit the cash out button. And then you won't have buyer's remorse. I'm just saying. But don't listen to me.
Yeah, I mean, that does track. I don't think I've really had that case, luckily. I felt like £7 was fine for me, but I'm just saying, like, if I wanted to get digitally and actually buy it, then I would have to spend a whole lot more.
Well, let me ask you a question. Have you ever bought a game day one?
Yeah, I always, pretty much most of the time, yeah.
And how much did it cost you around about?
It's depending on where I'm getting it from. Right now, a game is about £50 or 90 Canadian. Yeah.
Okay. So if you bought it day one, meaning you didn't get a discount, you know, if you bought an Xbox or a PlayStation or whatever, right? So then you know, at some point in your life, you did spend that money. Now I get it though. Yeah, I will feel I'm not gonna be disingenuous telling somebody a year later you should buy a game that's still full price, right? I remember that happened to me. Well, I didn't buy it. So I bought every one of the WWE games. There only one game I didn't buy because it was around COVID, and I was just like playing other stuff. And then I was like, you know what? I was gonna buy it just to buy it because I bought every single one. And literally, the new one was coming out soon. I was gonna buy it just to say I bought it. It was stupid, and it was still full price. I was like, hell no! And it was digital. So you're right. You are 100% right. I'm not gonna sit here and act like digital. Sometimes they take forever to go on sale. You hit that little wish list. You're like, so I do understand that. Can I just throw another little thing that I said in the comments that Purple might have glazed over? I don't want to start trouble or anything, but who the F said video games was art? I just feel like some young kid came up with that. Like, I don't consider video game art. I consider video games like a hobby. It's just a pastime. It's something to do. I'm not looking at it like, oh, this is like, yes, I get it. You could have been creative. You could have been like, oh man, this is a great story. But I don't, me personally, I don't say video game is art. Like, why? Who Purple? Break it down for me. Mel, somebody. Why is video game art?
Is any other medium that you experience not art as well? Or do they Do they not count as art?
No, so I feel like art is something you put on your wall.
But there are various art forms. So, for example, music is not an art. Is film not an art?
Is what?
Film.
I'm not, you know what? If Purple was near my age, but she's in, hot 34, But if it comes from my day and age, art is what you put on your wall. You go to the museum to see art. Movies isn't art.
Sure.
Like,
I mean,
there's museums for the moving image, which is a museum for film.
Purple, somebody made that up to be, oh, we were gonna call this art. In the movies that you be like, who made this garbage? We were trying to be extra artsy, like Sinners with the damn dancing scene and twerking, and that's art in movies, and that's why I don't belong in it. I'm just saying, maybe I'm a little older, so I apologize for my lack of you young people, but I'm just saying. Art is what you put on your wall and is in museums, Mel. Don't listen to Purple. She will steer you wrong on this one. I got your back.
I mean,
everybody listening.
I've always considered it art well before I met
But
Purple.
why?
But,
why?
Because okay, so here's how I'm
you have artists that work on it. You have somebody like, okay, so if you have paintings, those are art, of course, but sculptures are art. They're very two different things, aren't they?
Okay, we're getting somewhere.
Right. So art is the act of it's the human expression, and it's the creation of human expression. So that means if I were to put, like, for example, animation, that is art as well, because somebody had to, a lot of times, not every time, but somebody had to, for example, if you're looking at an older Disney film, somebody drew every single frame by hand. Then you also have 3D animation. That is art. So there's also artists that have to sculpt all the models and all the environments and everything in your video game. That is art. Somebody has to compose lyrics and they have to compose compositions for different various types of music, and they put that in the game. That is art. So it's all of these different things, making the entire package also art.
So this is what I feel you did. I feel you were talking about art, and then you added stuff that's not art and called it art and kept calling more things art. So
hey, where did he add something that wasn't art?
Once he went from something that's in the museum on the wall and start talking about artists or making movies for Disney and all that.
Wait. So how would you define art? Is art literally something that is on the museum, on the wall in a museum? Is that how you define art?
I feel like art is art is like it's paintings, it's sculptures, it's like
But
art.
But why are those considered art and not anything else? What is the reason behind those paintings existing in the first place?
Somebody decided, you know what? Let me be creative and make something that everybody could stare at. And there you have it. Now I ask you a question. What made someone decide a video game was art?
Well, because it has various layers of art in it. And art is, like I said, the human expression. And people, when they create art, including paintings, there's a meaning behind it. They don't just make it just because.
Okay, so is everything art?
As long as someone's created it, in a sense, yeah, it can be.
It can be. See,
Yeah.
you hear what you said. It can be. So I feel like once we start saying it can be, you know what? This is art. Hold on, wait. My glasses case is art because I think it looks kind of cool. I mean, if you set it up like that and a little angle, it looked like you could like put it up on something and it's kind of like, or you know how you see some of those crazy pictures, you're like, who even made that? That looks like art, but this could be art. You see where we're going here when you just say it can be? There's no definition, no reason. Just I feel like it. Today I feel like this PlayStation controller sitting next to my Iron Man thing is art. If I took a picture of this and leaned it up, it's going to be art. Why not?
Well, I
You
think
have no
so.
ending.
So I
But-
think, Mel, how did you define art? Because I think that's actually the key that you have to understand. Mel, how did you define art?
I was saying it's the creation and of human and it's the human expression. Yeah.
Correct. So like I think if you're expressing something, right? Then that's an expression in its form. What are you saying now, Cowboy? Like I think what you just held up could have been art.
So if
Yeah.
I go and express my fist and beat somebody down in the park and somebody film it, is that art?
I mean, there is forms of art that are like that. Yeah.
So then my question is answered. So anything could be art. Anything.
Well, it's a
Everything's art.
subjective thing,
Everything's art. All right, cool. I'm with it. Fine. Everything's art. Listen.
I mean,
Now, whether or
like-
not everybody wants to look at your art or pay for your art is different.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean,
I just feel like. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, like Zalik was saying, a banana. Like if we're talking about museums, the banana taped to a wall with duct tape, that is art then as well. Which, by their definition, it is, and by your definition, it should be as well. Because if it's in a museum, then there you go.
I think you know what the problem is for me. I feel like there's so many things that's loosely based these days. So much wiggle room, and I feel like that's the problem. We don't stand on anything. Everything is just like it can be. Why not?
Well, but why is that a problem? Why is that? Why? I guess so. My question to you, Cowboy, why does that matter? Why does it matter that a video game, some people would see it as art and you wouldn't?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm just explaining the way I think about it. That's all. That's like I said before with the whole digital thing. I don't want to put my preference on anybody, but I like to explain my thought pattern, right? So if you guys are like, how come you don't agree with that? Well, this is why. I'm not saying
No
you
one
have to
said
agree.
that. You, but actually,
Okay.
you started it off with a question. That was actually not you just saying that, oh, that's your opinion, this is my opinion. That's not what you said.
So I
That's, you
think
started
if
off
you're-
very different.
Yeah. If you're having a conversation with somebody, so I was going on with Seb the other day, right? Because he would like to put words in my mouth. We all, Seb, so I'm bringing him up. But the thing is, I like to ask questions. You did this one time, which was great, and you do it a lot, right? So in order for us to have a good conversation, I do want to put my feet in somebody else's shoes. So how can I do that? I need to understand how you think. I need to understand your why. So why do you feel this way? And then I can explain why I feel this way. Now, no one says we have to agree, but I would love to know why. I would love to know why Mel feel art is art. And this is why I feel art is art and what I feel isn't art. Now, you could still say a banana taped to duct tape to a shoe box in an empty room is art. Have at it. I was just explaining that for me. I mean, Purple would understand because she's not as old as me. But for me, I'm a little old school. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why
So
video games isn't art. But it's fine if you like it to be art. Just saying.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't like all arts. There is art, and somebody has put some level of expression into it and meaning behind it. Doesn't mean I have to like it.
No, yeah, that's great. Now here's my question. We are going in this age, so I gotta ask: is AI art?
Oh God, this is a whole loaded other thing.
I
I wouldn't say so. No.
This is what I'm talking about. This is the moment I'm talking about. If we could say this could be art and this could be art. So this is my point, right? I feel like people who have like no firm grasp of like, hey, no means no. We can't do this. You got to stop somewhere. And then it'd be that thing like, well, video games can be art, but AI can't be art. Hold the phone.
Well, because AI just generates from other people's work and then spits it out without proper intent.
But in AI's sake, right? That's AI's being creative and it's AI's expression.
But it's not human expression.
So art has to come from a human?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Really? So we think everything on video game?
Yeah. was
So
made by a
everything in video
human.
game came from human? Because
Yeah.
I recall people are starting to use AI to put things in
When
video games.
yeah,
now.
and then when they don't do that, those elements are not art.
Okay, so then is Arc Raiders art?
Not the AI elements, no.
So whoa. So you can is Arc Raiders art or not? I'm just curious.
Like I said, it depends because it's not.
What do you mean? You said video games is art. So
No,
Arc Raiders is
well,
a video game. Now
yes,
you
but-
know where I'm going with this
but-
because they use some AI in Arc Raiders to make the
Exactly.
NPCs talk, right?
Exactly.
So it's like, wait, so you could say in one moment you could say this is where I'm going with this because I feel like people have no firmness on stuff, right? It's just like because no, here I'm gonna go back to it. Your words exactly was it can be. Here's my problems with it can be because if you said video games was art and you were basing off, we started off where I said you said art was here, and I said I feel like you just call other things art. So we're at video games where I started off, right? So video games can be art, right? Then I say, okay, well then can AI, because that's the ultimate level where we're going, right? Can AI be art? The same person who said this can be now says AI can't be art. I'm like, whoa, you're the forgiving guy that lets everything in the door to be art, right? And so now you said
No.
video games are art.
I
Arc Raiders is a
specifically
video
said
game.
human.
Huh?
Yeah,
I
so-
specifically said human.
Arc Raiders was made by a human. And a human.
Yeah, but if you have AI elements, those parts aren't art. The rest of it is.
No, but I asked you, is the game Arc Raiders art? Is either it is or it isn't.
Well,
So you could listen. You could say it's disqualified because
video
there's
games have
10%,
multiple
less than
layers
10%.
of art to them.
Oh, go ahead.
Video
What's
games
that?
have multiple layers of art to them. They're not, singular.
Mel, you're not standing on nothing right now, Mel. You're not
Like I
standing
said,
on nothing, Mel.
I think he is. I think
I
his
don't
whole-
think he is.
But video games have music. They have 3D artists. They have voice
Okay.
actors. They have all these different elements. Each of those are art of themselves. But then but they all have to have a human element to them. If you're putting in an AI part, an AI component, the rest of it can be, but that component won't be.
But you can't answer an actual question. If I ask you if Arc Raiders is art,
Well,
you can't even give me a yes or no. You
it's
gotta
not a
pause.
yes or no. It's not a yes or no question.
But you just told me video games was art.
As a whole,
can be.
most of them are.
So
but if
I
get
need you to
internet-
either say it is or it isn't, Mel. I mean, you don't have
It's not
to.
a yes.
I'm just
It's
saying.
not a yes or no question, though.
This is my point. This is why art is in the museum and it's not video games. Because you can't even tell me what video game is art and what video game isn't art. Then I guarantee there could be a game that you love. And you said this is hold on, wait. I guarantee there's a game. I guarantee you there's a game you love and you said was art. And there's probably some AI in there that you didn't know. And then somebody be like, hey Mel, didn't you say it was art? Like, hell yeah, it's art. Like that one scene was AI generated. You be like, well, now that I think about it, that's my point. It can be. Hold on, air quotes. It can be. I'm just saying. I'm just here to, do a little razzle dazzle and dance a little bit. I got to drive 8 hours tomorrow to go to Mississippi to see Energy. But so I just wanted to come on here just to do what Purple do to me and extend the goddamn night whenever I'm trying. I got things to do.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to be packing. This is what she do, Mel. This is what she do to me. You just have things to do in your life. And what happens? Oh, here comes Purple Haze. Because we don't got nothing to do. We don't got to pack and go somewhere, get a good night's sleep. Oh, no. No,
Yeah.
honestly, though, me personally, I'm an open book. And I think I love individuals. So I'll tell you this. I'm an individual. I love people being individuals. I think whatever someone thinks is great for them, as long as they're not, misharming anybody. And I do love a good conversation, right? But there's no wrong or right answer because it's a preference. Now, if we look up the definition, because some people will be like, well, look up the definition, then whatever that says, cool, whatever. But I agree. Anything could be art. If you feel it's art, I think terminology is a big deal nowadays. And so it's just up to somebody and their interpretation as well. Like I always say, if there was a car accident, right? And Mel, you're on the right side of the street, I'm on the left side of the street, and the pink car slammed into the blue car. depending on where I'm standing, I might think it's the pink car fault. You might think it's the blue car fault. Now, who really at fault is it? I don't know. But hey, Pearl, stop laughing. But all I can say
the
is,
chat.
all right, cool.
They're clowning on you.
Hey, listen, man. People don't like the truth, man. That's what I'm here for. Because people like to just be, we could do whatever we want. It could be. I like to put my feet on the ground and say that's what it is. If a duck is a duck, it's a duck. No, people want to put a little crown on it, like, well, technically it's a king duck. Okay, what's a king duck? You got a crown on it. Like, man, I can't. I'm too old for this stuff. But I get it. Yeah.
Well, there is a king duck, and it's art.
But it's in the museum somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
But
man.
look,
All right.
thanks
for coming. Thanks for coming on, Cowboy.
Yeah, I do got to pack and all that. But Mel, great talking to you. Definitely got to check out more of your reviews and stuff.
Thank you.
And definitely I checked out the Resident Evil and all that stuff. And
Thank you.
Purple, as usual, you're the GOAT. I appreciate you. You definitely just a glue to the community. I just appreciate you so much. And I'm happy that, just to be around. And as you know, I listen to all the podcasts, even when I can't be live. So I'll listen to the rest of it tomorrow. But you guys are amazing. Mel, thanks for coming on and participating. It's just great, Purple's throwing it out there. And I didn't think Purple was going to have us both on at the same time because I feel like you only did that twice when it was me and
Mel's it's like 5 a.m. in the UK.
Yeah,
so I know Mel is super tired. Tired. So Mel, really quick, where can people find you? You told us you're going to have 3 more things.
Yeah, you can find me at Extra Life Reviews on YouTube, where I do obviously game reviews. And then you can also find me on various places like Twitter and which I probably should delete, and TikTok and Instagram, all of the same handle and everything. So, yeah.
There you go. And he's going to have 3 new ones coming out: Pragmata, Lego Batman, and the James Bond one.
007. And I also got to work on this too.
Oh, nice. When are you going to have them out?
I mean, I'm hoping sometime within this month.
Okay. Because I beat Pragmata and I thought that was really good, and I beat 007 as well. So I would love to know your your thoughts. I think your reviews are really good. It's really insightful, really professional. So real articulate. I love stuff like that. Even though I'm on here with Cowboy acting crazy, but I do really appreciate so
thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
You're welcome. Definitely.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mel. And then Cowboy, I know you're packing tomorrow to go to Mississippi. And you have crazy people on your channel. So I cannot go to Cowboy's channel. Like, it gets a little toxic over there. But Cowboy, I know that's your thing. Hey,
wait, I don't want it to be, but I just allow anybody to come on. And if they take it there, I guess that's where we're going. But that's not my intent. Hey, listen, wait, let me steal a play out of my man Mel. It could be. It could be toxic.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't the intent, but it could be.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But Cowboy, what are you doing? Videos like
man, I'm just enjoying life and loving life. I changed the channel name again. I was watching that Nick Nemus guy on YouTube. He's like one of the super high up dudes that try to help you get your channel better. I already know I'm the worst thing to the algorithm because I do too much different genres. So I'm trying to streamline my channel just so their advice was like, dude, so I asked him, was a Now Your Mama Knows confusing? He's like, I mean, if it's your catchphrase, right? Not really. He was like, but you hear our hesitance. He was like, it's just that when they go to your channel, they kind of got to get what it is. I was like, okay, well, it says I do gaming, vlogging, podcast, movie reviews, and product reviews. He was like, So I'm trying to streamline it, right? So Anthony L. Lewis in real life, as you guys know, if you want to know what my house looked like, my whole life is on YouTube since 2011. Every birthday, Christmas, Valentine's Day, even my honeymoon in Mexico, swim with sharks. All right. So I wanted to say, okay, if I just go back to Anthony L. Lewis in real life, like when I first moved to Florida, that's what I wanted to do, right? But I still want to do all my other stuff. I know I'm the worst thing to the algorithm, but I wanted to streamline. So all of my thumbnails now is going to be like a real thumbnail. It'll be like and it'll be a clip from the video. And then the headline is going to be the same. It's going to be red with yellow letters, right? So when you come on a channel, you're going to be like, okay, I get it. It's this guy. And I gotta read the title and see what it's about. So I just want to try that, but still very much. And Now Your Mama Knows, still me and my grandma. So if you look up and Now Your Mama Knows, you still find the channel. Man, I'm just every Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, doing a podcast. Pretty much talk about anything, but it's mainly gaming because it could be, and that's where people take it. And then Wednesdays is my wrestling league, my We Wrestle Wednesdays. Hey, Purple, look at the kid. 50 years old, Purple. This is what we looking like. You know, you want to know anything about that 34 years old of yours. But so yeah, so I mean, I just got random stuff. I got a bunch of product reviews I got to put out. Bought a new watch, so I got to do that. A cheap watch, $50 watch, just because my expensive watch broke, and I'm not sure if I want the new Samsung watch. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna spend $50 for a watch, and I'm gonna see what it's like, the smartwatch. So yeah, I got a bunch of stuff coming to the channel. My dog turned 1 year old, so I have a special video. I've been saving all these videos. I'm gonna have him little and all the way up to being 1 year old, and I'm gonna do that on the day we bought him. So I got a lot going on. So guys, come to the channel. I got something for everybody, and if I don't, Purple got you covered. With that being said, and Now Your Mama Knows.
Thank you so much, Cowboy. And if y'all did not see, Spitz, his puppy, is 1 year old as of last week.
Yep.
So I keep track.
Hey, Purple, he is kind of big. I was just saying the other day, I was like, this dog might be 35 pounds. I don't know about 25. They say he won't get bigger than 25. I'm like,
You said 18. You said 18 initially.
girl, I said 25.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's Purple's like, I don't know that dog. Look at his paws. Hey, we in the middle. So.
He's gonna keep growing. But all right, and for everybody else, I will be here next week. I am going to do a lot of research on this. What we were talking about with physical, why things were brought up. So y'all brought up a lot of different examples. Somebody tells me they're not all the same. Mel, thank you so much for coming on and just providing the physical. We talked about it last week, but definitely brought in a different perspective. So I really appreciate it. Also, thanks for people who came by. Joe came by. We had Spartan come by. We had a lot of people. Coldblood came by. Sourblue came by. Suave came by. A lot of people came by that. A lot of people. So thank you so much. And obviously Lotus, as well as Spartan for breaking the Gifted. I always appreciate when the Gifted get broken. So thank you so much for doing that. But with that said, I'm going to end it. Last words from either one of you.
Listen, I just want to simply say, I don't care where you game, how you game.
Don't do that. That's my thing. Don't do that.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Yeah, I got nothing to say.
Neither do I.
All right, look, he gets up every single time I say it. But okay, here we go. Thank you, Spartan, for that last one. I don't care where you game, how you game, why you game, what you game on, how long you've been gaming. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. And as always, this is Purple Haze, and the proof is in the plane. All right, take care, y'all. I'll see you on the next one. All right, later.
Bye.